sometimes in our journey to greatness and the things that we strive to do, the things that we strive to achieve, we get a little caught and stuck sometimes, stuck in the mess of everything. And sometimes you lose your vision a little bit on like why you started doing it in the first place, why you feel like you want to continue doing it, where you want to be, so on and so forth. I think that happens to a lot of us. And then when you back off a little bit and jump back into it with a fresh perspective, things feel so fun, full of life, and you're just having a good time again. And then you remember why you started in the first place. Today's special guest is somebody who has probably been through that on a multitude of times, what am I trying to say? Been through it many times. My grammar sucks. Been through the 80s, 90s, and all the way up until now. So it'll be good to get a fresh perspective on how he thinks the whole scene is shifting and on what all of us are doing with music and where he sees the ship going from here. Welcome to the show. My name is Eyes. I'm a music producer. I specialize in post-hardcore, progressive metal, and this is the Antiperfectionist Lounge. So thank you for joining and being a part of it. It's a great place to be for musicians and for people who just love music, want to hang out and make friends. There's a lot of teaching that happens here, a lot of learning, discussing, discovering, lots of things music, and just a fun place to be. My socials are here. If you guys want to join and check out those, and my Discord account is there if you want to join the Anti-Perfectionist Lounge. Welcome on in. So today we have the co-host is Prominent BEG. I'm going to switch over the screen. And Prominent, why don't you introduce yourself right now, my friend?
How's everybody doing today? I am your host, the Prominent BEG. No, I'm just kidding. No, I am Brandon, aka the Prominent BEG. I am the host of the Jazz Lounge Journey. That was bars right there, but I'm excited to be a part of another episode of the great Anti-Perfectionist Podcast.
Yes, sir.
And I'm really looking forward to tonight. We got a great special guest going on tonight.
Heck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Feel free to give yourself a shout out in the chat so people can follow you and put your links in there if you want to do that as well. Our special guest today is the homie on Twitch, the OldManMatthew. But I don't think he's that old. Come on now. Welcome to the show. Who are you? What do you do?
Isn't age relevant? Relative, right? Relative?
Irrelevant.
Something like that. Irrelevant part of it. Well, as my body tells me otherwise. The old man Matthew, I am 50. I'll be 58 in a couple months. So I don't know if that's old or not, but pretty old to me, man. Never thought I'd be here at 58, especially talking to you guys doing stuff like this. The old man Matthew, rocker, roller, metalhead. We'll talk about some metal. Got metal guitars over here.
Yeah, you have a ton. I'm super envious, man.
Somebody called this a power guitar once, so this is my power guitar.
Oh, see, that's my favorite one. Yeah, because it's all black.
It's it's
the Les Paul design.
Meh. Heavy. Heavy for me.
Yeah, they are kind of heavy, but I love the body style. It's just so beautiful.
As you can see, I like the other one a little better.
The one with the handle. That's the one
you're with the handle. Well, the handle is one too, but yeah, that's the primary one. But yeah, so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, we could talk about some things about being old, as it were, and seeing stuff happen from the 70s, 80s, 90s, just seeing what happened through that and how music changed just completely after that. And some would say it died. I don't even know. Maybe not.
Wait,
that was a weird one.
What do you mean they say it died?
Music is not what it used to be when I was growing up. It's not the same.
Are you disappointed?
Getting a record, coming? Yes.
Okay, that'll be the first question. Yeah. Why? What makes you disappointed?
Yeah, I'm curious too. I am curious.
Let's get here. I'm interested.
Oh, now you're gonna put me on the spot. Let's see. Now, I'll preface this by I don't know all music. Don't get me wrong. I grew up in this. There's a theory that we tend to our musical tastes tend to get like entrenched by like 22 to 25 years old in that time frame, and that's what you like the rest of your life. So for me, yeah, I it's just way we are. And for me, that was hair metal, speed metal, death metal. And then the grunge came along and killed all of that. That just was gone in one day. Nirvana was on the radio. Everything else was gone. And I think at that point that changed everything. Especially, I was in a speed metal band at the time. That was gone. No one wanted to go see that anymore. They want to go see grunge. Now, that was the 90s. Now let's push it out, 20 plus years now? Music is homogenized, time synced, relatively boring. The songs on the radio are dull. It's repetitive,
very much so.
boring, braggadocious, look at me as opposed to look at the world. There's still some of that out there. Now I'm gonna preface this. This is like the popular music. You go on Discord. There's, we can talk about my band in a bit. My band's on a lot of playlists. There's a lot of cool songs in those playlists that you'll never hear anywhere. So you got to really search hard for music. Anything new, you got to search. Twitch is teaching me new songs because I'll go into both your channels and you guys are doing different stuff. I think I'm doing different stuff a little bit. We're all learning new stuff. That is teaching me I'm learning a lot more by watching Twitch streamers than anything else.
Do you feel that we fall into that somewhat category? Like, because I time sync a lot of mine, like quantize and stuff. Do you feel?
Yeah, quantize.
Do you feel like are you disappointed in how modern music production, whenever you watch people like me making it or watching?
No, of course not. Because I'll go
prominent making it or whatever.
No, as long as you're having fun and producing something you wish to do, that's all. In my opinion, that's all that really matters. And if you like it, someone else will like it. So I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing per se. I mean, even my band I'm in now, we record to a click track.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, I'll say this: the drummer records to a click track, and then we can go into how. I want to get that later. How the New Nothings music is created. It's a very unique instance of how we're creating music. I don't think it's unique. I think it's just not my cup of tea. But but one of the benefits I think that when my drummer plays, or if I'll pull up the WAV file, because he'll send me the WAV file and I'll play against that. So I'll record my bass to that, and his it's not lined up, and we don't quantize. So there'll be times when he's early, he's late. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that because that even though he's playing to a click, it's still natural, but we're still on that click. So, we can use the click for delays and all that stuff post-production, but during production, I'm okay. So a lot of times I'll be playing not to a click, I'll play to him, but I'm on the beat and I'll see he's off. Well, thankfully with bass, I can usually go in there and just move that little bass, move it a little bit. Yeah. So now we're talking perfectionist, we're getting in that perfectionist thing. How close do I want to move it to his hit? And I'll do that a lot because especially with bass and drums, if it's by themselves or something, you need that perfection. You need it.
Yeah.
For the audience.
Super tight.
And that's one thing my drummer and I are very good at. But recording, you still float a little bit. So I'll do. Thankfully, like the last song I did, it was very staccato, so I was able to take each note and move them as I wanted to move them.
It's funny that you mentioned pulling things and dragging them to the beat. Because like I catch myself in that so much. I have one where
I do it all the time too, and it just makes me feel like is this a perfectionist thing? Like, am I just moving it to like the bar line every time and stuff like that?
I think that's the ticket.
Or so I just leave it alone. I'm just like, is it gonna bother me? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, are we gonna? Or are you doing it by? Are you mixing by eyes or by ear? If you zoom in and look at the waves, I'm mixing now by eyes. Yeah. And I'm not eyes by eyes. Yeah. Eyes. So I'm moving it, and I'm moving it to okay. Sometimes I won't even listen. Okay, that's lined up. That's lined up. That's lined up. That's lined up. Now I'll listen to them all. I won't listen to each one individually. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? No, they look good. Go.
And I try to say that in stream too, especially when I'm editing vocals in Melodyne, because you can see the vocal pattern.
I was watching you do that yesterday. Yeah.
And I'll oftentimes say, I'm kind of getting caught up in the vision. Just listen to it. If it sounds good, stop getting caught in your vision. But it is something that definitely catches your eye because it's something that could be called to attention at a later point. You know what I mean? So
and I always say this: the most people that call that attention will be you because most people won't.
1,000%, and that's the initial.
Most people won't hear that little
initial
thing.
idea of how I just decided the anti-perfectionism thing. I was like, I'm tired of making music for other musicians whenever they're not going to even notice anyway. It's always going to be me.
Correct. I always laughed at every show I play. There's always, not always, but the majority of the time there's always 1 to 2 guys in the back like this. And those are the musicians.
Yeah.
Watching everything you do. Okay, mistake. Okay, I'm not playing for you. I'm playing for these 5 people dancing right now. Those are the people I care about. You come talk to me later how bad I was. Whatever, dude. But I'm up on stage having fun. You're judging me. Whatever.
Right, exactly.
It's always
ruin my
night so fun.
At all.
You're not going to ruin my night. No. Or I'm going to step my ass up to prove you wrong. That's when I break out the fretless and do some solos on the fretless in key, in tune.
Exactly. In the right scale, in the right key.
In the right. Well, in tune on the fretless is the fun one. You hit those notes correctly.
But the interesting thing to me is like what I'm saying. Like I got caught in one of my songs, and it's in the like kind of final stages of production, and it's really starting to go into mixing. But one of the sections, it's a lot of tapping, and it's at 16th notes, and it's very, very fast. And it's almost, it took me weeks, maybe a couple months to get it.
Right.
What? Oh, am I dropping?
You're
again?
slowing down. You're slowing us. You're slowing down on us, my dude.
I think so.
I thought it was prominence term next.
I think I'm back.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I thought it was mine again. Who knows? The kid's doing something over there.
I think I'm.
But you're back.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're okay. No, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, but I was more or less saying it took so long to get those like 16th note tapping, and it took so long to get it not sloppy. It's like I'm not. I tell myself I'm not going to be perfectionist, but realistically, I'm like pretty dang close to it.
We all do. We really all do.
Because I don't want it to sound like trash, and I want it to sound clean, not sloppy. But it took so long until I finally got the part and was pulling every single 16th note together, and it was for 32 bars in total or something like that. It was a lot.
For not much at all.
It was a lot. And what's funny is it's definitely a lead because it's two hands tapping, but it's more or less going to be a background track because it's gonna.
It's a pad. It's a pad, but it still needs to be important.
It doesn't need to be that loud in the mix. So it's like but I don't know.
Well, one thing I've gone to do, and I'm trying to teach my kid to do this also, is so I'm working on a song right now, and it's got 3 solos in it, and I'll lay in bed and play that solo in my head over and over and over and over and over and over, knowing where my fingers go, listening to it. Mostly it's just, can I get it note for note in my head? Once I get that, I can usually play it pretty fairly well, even if it's fast, as long as I can get the melody in my head. So I'll pay a lot of attention to that. I'll write a solo and just go to bed and this over and over in my head. It's kind of weird, but that so I'm trying to teach my kids. I call
that really like brain training right there in a way.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Because you're literally like just like replaying in your head as just like you're pretending like you're playing on your instrument. Like, all right, this note's right here. These notes. Right here.
I can see it and I can hear it. I can hear it. It's like playing covers. Exactly. After a while, the cover is so ingrained on you, you can just play it. It's kind of the same thing. We've heard these songs for 10, 20 years. I know the song damn well in my head. I can pick that up pretty well.
Yeah.
I tend to do that, but 16th note tapping could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a little more distortion. That's all. You're too clean all the time. I didn't hear the distortion one or the tapping one.
No, I don't think you heard the tapping for the distortion. You haven't heard Cola Coca yet. There's a lot of distortion in that, and it's one of the songs that I thought people weren't gonna like, and I was only gonna like it, but it's everyone's favorite.
But that's usually how it happens. So that's good. That's usually how it happens. That's good. No, keep doing it. That's what we're here for, is to have fun and make the music. That's what we're talking about now. But
I'm happy to hear that you want distortion, because it's there. I have quite a bit of distortion in my stuff. But in the 2 songs that you've heard, Guy Like That and Blank Page, there's not very much.
Well, and the ones you've been working on, too. Again, this is not a complaint at all. And you're good with clean guitars, too, which is tough to do.
Yeah, because...
I think...
Go ahead.
You were watching me record the other day and how I turn off effects. Let me hear how the guitar by itself is without any effects on. Am I hitting those notes right? If I'm hitting them wrong there, it's going to be even worse when it's distorted and amplified out.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
True.
Now that's anal. That's being anal. That's being okay. I'm being too picky. I'm trying to do this correctly. Why am I spending too much time perfection on this? But then I'll hear a mistake. I'm like, okay, that's okay. That's creative license. I'll use that.
Creative license. What do you mean?
I think that's what is that word? Yeah, creative license. Where you can do. It's my creative license to do whatever I wish.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So if a note's a little bit off, okay, maybe that's just how I'm not going to go perfect and try and get that one note, even though I have done that in a whole section. Okay, one note's off. I won't go punch that one note unless that take is really good. I'll do the take again. So I like to get them all in one take as opposed to a simple punch in, which. There's nothing wrong with those either. Punch-ins makes it nice and easy. You can move on.
Yeah. What I hear is you have a very similar argument to me. It's just like I like to do it this way, but there's legitimately nothing wrong with you doing it that way. Like some people like dog on other people for using fret wraps in the studio. I'm like, dude, it takes so much time to record. You're allowed to use a fret wrap in the studio as long as you're not
in the studio. Correct.
As long as you're not using it live. You know what I mean? Learn how to play your stuff.
if you're one of those two-handed tapping dudes like Stanley Jordan, early two-handed tapping, yeah, you need that.
Yeah,
you
that's
need
fair.
that there
That's
for
fair.
string buzz.
So I
But
guess
no,
it depends, just circumstantial. Like it depends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Metallica, right? I think he had a 2-note solo on 2 strings, and they taped the other strings. They taped them down, so there wasn't even so they didn't want no sound at all. They put black tape on the strings to cover that. Okay, so yeah, you want that clean as it can be, and you're doing some up here, and you can't mute it. Tape it off.
Yep.
No one knows you did that.
And
or use one of these fun, EBO things. No one knows he uses that a couple times.
I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
It's an electric bow that vibrates strings. So I hold it like this on the string, and it'll vibrate the string. So it's like a sustainer. Just it vibrates the string.
No way, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're great. I have a song. I'm recording a song
that hold out a string forever.
Correct. Forever. Yes. These are fun to play with. They're hard to get nowadays. I'm looking at a guitar that has one of those built in. It's a Staniac built into it. So you turn that on, you hold a note. It's a like a vibrating magnet. It just sits there and keeps the string vibrating. It's hella cool.
Yeah, that's
they're fun to play with.
Sick,
they're fun to play with. Yeah,
sounds crazy.
There was something I was going to talk about there a second ago. I forgot.
I'll give the reins to Prominent until you think of that. I'll let Prominent.
Sure.
Because you guys kind of don't know each other too well, as far as I'm aware. I mean, you guys know each other a little.
Well,
bit.
just chat. Just chit chat through Twitch.
But Prominent, ask away, homie. Ask away.
What you got?
Yeah, I am curious. Like, just about like your musical journey throughout the years. Like, one of the main questions I had was, what was one thing that really like just really motivated you to say, or what really brought you to that point of, okay, this music is really what I really love to do, what I really want to do. You know what I mean?
It's a tough one. I don't have that whole, this song made me pick up the guitar, or, I don't have that moment of, oh my God, I have to play guitar. In my high school years, a couple of my friends of mine were in a speed metal band, pretty, just playing speed death metal, 1,000 miles an hour in the 80s, 84, 85. And then so I just started playing that, Judas Priest. Then I heard Slayer. Once I heard Slayer, that changed. Okay, we'll go with that. That changed a lot. Okay, what is this? What's this over here? And what is this world? So I delved into that speed metal, death metal world for a while, and then the band, that my friend's band, the singer died. He was a singer guitar player, and he passed away at like 20. I think he was 21. Yeah, had a heart problem. It really sucked. Yeah, it was really sucked. It was a different thing. So then the guy who was leading the band, looked at his buddies who's playing guitar. And I wrote this one riff. Like, hey, check out this one riff. And he was impressed by the riff, one riff. Then I joined speed metal band for almost like 9-10 years, playing speed metal every day. This red guitar got so much use every day, many hours a day. We'd be in the studio practicing. The problem is we never went outside and played too much. Like, there was other bands by name of like Violence and Forbidden and Death Angel. They were all from the Bay Area. They were all like our contemporaries. They went, they were rising up while we were still in the studio.
Those simple names, but they bring such a big message, like violence, forbidden,
violence. Yes, and
imagine they have like deep meanings behind them or something.
I don't know, but maybe Forbidden was Forbidden Evil, talking about just the forbidden evil. But metal is as a genre, speed metal and death metal as a genre goes everywhere. There's really not many love songs. It's all political, personal. Life and death type stuff, not much love. And I think I glommed onto that too, because we all had enough love songs. I grew up in the 70s with love songs on the radio, boring. 80s AM radio. That's what I grew up with, was AM radio, and my mom and dad listening to Barbra Streisand and Pavarotti. So it was a weird mix growing up. But music never clicked until I got my first guitar. I can't remember where I got it from. I started playing Judas Priest. I'm like, this is actually kind of fun, and I'm doing pretty good at it. And then I joined the speed metal band, and that took over for years. We got pretty good. We had a couple albums out in Europe. The main guitar still does it. He's still out there. Band name's Insanity. They're still out there doing it. Whenever he tours, he's all like, people come up to me and say, we were very influential. So that's kind of cool to think that I'm a lonely dude in a room sitting by myself, but there are people out there that know this music that I played in the 80s, 90s, and they still, people. it left a mark on some people. So it's kind of weird to think that, well, there's people listening to my guitar solos from this long ago. And then what happened there was I got kind of my line is I got tired of playing for fat, drunk, sweaty men, which is what speed metal all it was. I'd look in the crowd, that's all it was. There'd be one girl, but she's over here being hounded by 5 dudes already.
Yeah.
And not that I was the girl magnet, I wasn't, but I didn't want to play for that anymore. So I quit that band. And then I joined a very fun band. I started playing bass. So I was speed metal guitar. And then I go, well, I want to learn something new. So I picked up a fretless bass. Let's go something difficult. I already play speed metal. Let's go difficult. Picked up fretless. I think it's actually this one, right? Close to this one. I think this is my second fretless bass right here.
Bluish one?
It's all black. This one right here. I know it doesn't. It's all black.
Oh,
There's a blue light on it, but it's all black.
I can definitely tell because there are no markings on the neck.
And there's no markings on the neck either. So my kid has a tough time playing it. He's playing my other primary right now.
I'd like to try fretless. It'd be sweet.
Fretless are fun to me because you can do the slides. I list it's glissandos. You get to do these slides and stuff like that. And I really very much love sliding in between notes. Just one of the things, and my band likes it. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. So I started playing bass, and then joined another band. Just befriended a guy I was working with. That's a funny story there. Befriended a guy I was working with, and then we started getting pretty well known as this one band, Maynard's Lane. And one of the benefits of that, I've told this story on stream, is that the singer, the guitarist of my band was best friends with the singer of Smash Mouth before they were Smash Mouth. So,
really?
Steve Harwell was always at our studio before they got signed. So they were always at our studio hanging out, and that guy would drink a lot.
Yeah,
you go over there.
I think it was revealed that he struggled, right?
He struggled, yeah, and I could see why. Correct. Don't get me wrong; we were all doing the same thing too. No, he passed. Yeah, he just passed a couple months back.
A couple months ago?
The singer of Smash Mouth.
Dang.
Wow.
So, yeah. It was not that long ago. Yeah.
I hope he's in a better place. Jeez, dude.
I would think
crazy.
I would think so too.
I know he had a rough time.
That's crazy.
Fans were heckling him pretty hardcore. Well, not even fans, just people at the concerts.
Everybody
throwing things at him.
Correct.
Like I don't know his personal life, so I don't know whether.
Yeah, I heard it kind of good but rough, just like you said, from what I heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with the Smash Mouth, this is my closest brush to greatness was we got done with our demo. Smash Mouth just got signed, so they were just starting to blow up. I think Walking on the Sun was just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And their producer guy, it was the same producer who did Smash Mouth, who did Third Eye Blind, and someone else from the Bay Area, some other big band from the Bay Area. And we gave our tape to him. Here's our tape to this producer guy. And he's all like, "You guys sound good, but I'm about to go on tour with Smash Mouth." So if he didn't go on tour, who knows? Who knows what could have happened? It was just one of those things. We did have a good gimmick. It was like very sexy type. The singer would come out looking like Buddy Holly, but then end up looking like Elvis with a big old 12-inch thing in his pants. It was a good show.
Yeah.
We had the go-go dancers behind the screens behind us. It was fun stuff. That's like the closest I got. And then after that happened, then that band kind of dissipated after that. The guitarist moved away. And then I got girlfriends. And then life took over. So we're talking like the late 90s. Life took over. Music was secondary. This is going back to what your opening of, like, going through different phases of music and things, how life changes could stop things and start things.
Right.
And so when that happened, life happened. I ended up getting a girlfriend, bought a home, going down this whole path. Music was kind of put away. I was still doing it a little bit, but it wasn't as prominent as didn't mean that pun there, as it could have been.
And it's not as prominent.
That's prominent. But wait a minute. And then after that, and then I got married after that, and then that stopped everything. Once you get married, and then kids came along, then I had a kid, everything. Your life goes in the garage. That's how my life was, in the garage.
I've heard that. Yeah, when you have a child, things flip. But I've also heard the other side of it. It's a huge blessing too.
It is. It's actually, it's supposed to flip. You're supposed to put your stuff aside and take care of the kid. Now, you can keep your own life going forward too, but the kid took over, the wife took over, everything took over. And then, so this is like the 2000s. He was born in 2012, 2011. A couple years later, then I got divorced. And after divorce, I was in that funk for about 2 years. It's just how life is. You whatever it is, however you want to come out of this situation. It was
need
good
the
and
time
bad.
to figure out how you're coming out of the situation.
Yeah. Oh, funny. So I just got divorced, just lost my job. I was working at Adobe, got laid off from Adobe, and I was about 40, 50 pounds overweight than I am now. I was pushing like 280. So I was big old fat faced guy. I'm pretty big now, but I was way bigger then. So it took me about 2 years to get out of that funk. And thankfully, I joined the band I'm in now. I looked for an interview. You guys have Craigslist everywhere, right? So on Craigslist, found an ad, went to it, had an interview with the singer and the guitar player. It's kind of weird. And then joined that band. Then during that time, I was in a cover band. I was in another band. So I was in like 3 bands for about a year. So I went from nothing to 3 bands. My hands were hurting. And I was all bass all the time. It was lots of fun. It was lots of fun to go through all that.
Your hands were hurting on stream the other night too with the solos.
Yes, I'm getting old, man. It really sucks.
I have like 2 shows this week. I was like,
yes, man. I got to be careful with the fingers.
It was like in between every 2 or 3 takes. You're like, I have to freaking go to a show.
just sit there in the back going like this all the time.
Yep.
I actually went to the doctor after a show because they were hurting so bad that like, do I have arthritis? So I got the X-rays and everything. No, you're good. The doctor said basically you need to stop, relax a little bit. Oh, jeez, all right.
Really?
So, but then I stream for what 5-6 hours. I don't do it as much as I used to, but 5-6 hours of just continuous.
Yeah, it's been
continuous.
I've been like, where's Matt? You know, I haven't. But lately, I've seen you picked up. Like I've seen you live a lot in the past couple of weeks.
Streaming is a whole nother beast, man. It really is a whole nother beast that we can get into. It's a very weird thing to me. I've been here for almost 3.5 years now, trying to do this.
How do you mean?
Very strange.
Let's go into it.
A
positive or a negative?
Both. It's a positive because I get to have fun and express myself and do things. I've done some streams I don't think anybody else has done, like 2-player at the same time type of stuff with myself. I don't know if you saw those.
I didn't.
I'm trying to work on some more of those now. The Shred Fest was a lot of fun. That's a thing that a lot of rocksmithers do every couple months, where they get together and do like you'll do an hour set and then raid someone else and it's all to raise money for a good cause. I think last
like the
time
raid train type thing.
It's a raid train type thing, yeah. I think last time we raised something like $5,000, something like that for the last one I was in. That was pretty cool.
Oh
yeah.
Wow!
But let's go on that. So I spent an amazing amount of work trying to get that thing set up, where I had myself playing bass behind me at the same time, triggered with Rocksmith songs, which is not easy to do, syncing up another person at the same time, which is a recording of me. But there was like 5 people in chat. I'm like, I just spent a week and hours and hours and hours to get this stuff set up, and I'm putting on a show to no one. I've put on many shows. I spent time and effort putting in 2-3 people, and I have fun doing it. I have fun setting it up. But then when you're all done, you're like, no one even saw that. So you get kind of depressed on that. I might put it up on YouTube, but still no one sees that over there either. No one goes and checks out my YouTube too much. I don't push as much as you guys do. Eyes, you're really good at promoting yourself, your socials. You're putting stuff out more. I don't do that. I should do more of that. The whole Instagram, X, all that stuff. If that's using that to go back to streaming. It's like you have to. No one's going to come find you if you're streaming. No one's going to come find you. You have to push yourself out, and hopefully someone else will raid you or bring people to you. Because you go to the music channel right now, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in there, and 3/4 of them are DJs.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Which now they're in trouble. I always want to talk about Fat Loud. I got to ping him. He was streaming the other day. I didn't ping him. They're going to start paying. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
I have to pull it up. Twitch is saying DJs are going to have to start, if they're making money, have to start giving money back to the records or the people they're streaming, the music. They have to pay back. It's coming. So it's going to probably come to me soon, too, being Rocksmith.
I completely disagree with that choice.
So do I.
1,000%.
Completely.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
Like,
so that could either kill or whatever.
There's already such a stranglehold on the music industry as it is, and it's so bad. For instance, I used to
Twitch.
Yeah, well, everywhere. I used to work at
or
Apple.
YouTube.
I used to work at Apple, and I was working the front one time, and I was tired of the music that was playing overhead, so I switched it to. I connected one of the iPads to the Bluetooth speakers that were on the table next to me, and just started playing the music that I wanted to hear. And I kind of more or less got in trouble for it and found out that we're paying for the music that's playing, so we could get in trouble if if the wrong person had come in, and it's just ridiculous. It's at such a poor place, and every music copyright law was not written with the speed of the internet in mind, as far as I'm aware. The things need to change, like the laws, the rules around it, they all need to change because it's so ridiculous. It wasn't written for the speed of the internet and how people are going to use it creatively. Yes, people use it creatively.
You have to pay. Just the fact that you have to pay to play music just in your store, just as background music, so people can shop and stuff, doesn't make sense to me at all. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why you hear a lot of, I think, satellite radio being played in places now, because I think that's they're paying for the satellites. They don't have to pay for the songs. So I think that's how that works. I'm not positive, but I think that's how that works. Yeah.
But
kind of lame. I've heard that
radio and stuff like that.
So much of the artist is getting nothing out of that. Like, you know how much you get for a Spotify stream? It's like 0.000297386. Like, it's not even.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's like the tenth of a. It's like the tenth of a penny, or something.
And it's ridiculous. And then they want to get on you for having low music in your stream or just DJing. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. Well, that kind of goes back to my talking about the music's changing of today. That's hurting it too. That's hurting it greatly.
Yeah.
But thankfully, there is so much original music being written, and Spotify, you can hear it, get on a good playlist, some good playlists that's giving independent artists. You can hear some good stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's that's still even hard. And I think a big part of it, as you get older and older, I don't have time to sit and listen to music as I used to anymore. I might have it on the background while I'm doing something, but then it's on the background while I'm doing something. If that's the case, I'm putting on something I want to listen to. Put on some easy music or some guitar music, something I'm used to, I'll put that on the background. I'm not listening to new music.
Right.
Which is sad. Which kind of goes back to Twitch. I think that's a benefit of Twitch original music. And there's a lot of it on Twitch. I've actually been thinking about doing like a show on that. We could talk about that, doing like bring people, or just go find Twitch people. And that's kind of how I got found first on Twitch. Was I was doing a bass stream, and there was some dude, he doesn't stream anymore. It's a weird thing too. How many people you don't see anymore on Twitch at all? They're just gone. He came in my channel, and he was doing a thing where he was going through music channels and promoting them. That's what he was doing. That was kind of a cool thing to do. Like, no one does that anymore. Just going hopping around Twitch streams and going, "Hey, you're doing good. Here's $5. Good work." And I'll promote you on your stream. Yeah. So I guess I had some guy find me with that, and that kind of helped me go up a little bit, I think, because he had I don't know, about 50 people or something like that in his thing. But we were talking about just, Twitch is I'm going to be personal. I see a lot of new people doing the similar thing I'm doing, rising way faster, who I think I'm putting on a better show. I'm not going to say I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. Yeah. But I think I'm doing better entertainment. But then I'm like, well, why is this guy getting so many people watching him when I'm not calling anybody out. We all seen these people. Can't play the instrument very well. Doesn't talk on stream much at all.
Sometimes there's
bad camera setup. There's not a face camera. Nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, there can be like multiple different reasons behind all that. Honestly,
I agree. So I'm not trying to call it out. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to call it out. it's like I'm like, how are you growing so much right now? What the hell? Why you? And I think that just. Just somebody's been pushing this
streamer. How can do with like the tactics that they use to like get the numbers that they need, all kinds of stuff.
And it's also right place, right time. I was a night streamer for most of the time, so I was getting that night crew, which is it's a different crew. The night crew is different than the day crew, way different. You're
right.
I'm getting people waking up in Europe, in Australia, stuff like that. So people are having their tea, which is very weird. I'm not drinking anymore, but when I was drinking, I'd be drunk on stream as they're waking up, drinking their coffee. Hey, welcome. What song can I play for you? I always find that kind of weird. So I think Twitch's biggest issue is discoverability. A good example would be about a couple of months ago, they made a change. If I go to Twitch and click on browse and click on music, it used to show all the music channels, and you could sort by high, low, stuff like that. It doesn't do that anymore. It shows by music streams for you, rock and metal. It's now categorized.
Hold on.
I actually have to. I actually have to click on the word music in one of their
I can
channels
check
to
this real
now
quick. Hold on,
see
let me see.
viewers low to high. Now I can see low to high. I can start screening. Okay, and who's here? I use this a lot when I'm rating somebody. I want to find somebody with a low viewer count.
So I stepped in about a year ago, and this is how it's always been for me. I go to browse and then go to the music category instead of the music like column.
Yeah, if I click
or
the
whatever,
the
you know what I
blue,
mean?
yeah, the blue. It says
I-
you know, games, IRL, music,
Yes.
esports. I click music.
Now I just click the music next to just chatting, the big
Yeah.
portrait.
That's how I
Agree.
usually do it.
And that's
And
the
that's
one.
not-
That's the one that brings me.
that's-
And then I for search tags, I always search English because that's the only language I can speak.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
But I
think
have
mine's
a
already
couple
set up for that.
caveats. Like I want to make sure that they have a face camera, and then if I go in there and they have follower only, I immediately close out tab. I'm like, nah, I'm not
Yep.
gonna.
Yep.
And then if the audio,
I never understood that, especially if you're a low count streamer with follower only on. I don't get that. I'm about to raid you
doesn't
and it
make
says
sense to me
follower
either.
only. Yeah.
Well, there was.
You're not that special,
my
dude.
my only thing that I can think that why they think it works is because that used to be a trick on Instagram. You would be a request only account, so people could see your posts, or it felt like elite if you were accepted by that Instagram.
Sure.
account. But so it's like I disagree with that, and I just definitely
Yeah.
disagree with the Twitch follow only thing. And
Agreed,
I accidentally I took a
I don't see
raid
the point of
I
using
took a raid suggestion from somebody the other day. I was going to raid to somebody I already follow and I know, but I when I hit raid and it started doing the loading bar, it said this user has follower only, sub only chat. I was like, oh, cancel. Sorry
Cancel.
guys, not gonna send you there. And then so
Yeah, there's no
one of
point to
the-
send my people there.
I'm not doing
one
it.
of the community members recommended one, and I copied, pasted, put in the name raid, and just started doing my outro. Didn't see that again. It was a sub/follow only. Raided, and I couldn't put in my raid message. I could if I followed, but I just don't do that. I don't.
Right.
I'm not gonna follow you if I don't know.
If I can't send you a message, yeah, I don't know anything about you.
the follow,
I can't
only
like go into your
message-
stream. I can't get to know you, who you are, and stuff like that first
Exactly.
before following you.
And
know?
the follow only tells me enough about who you are.
Correct.
In a very mean way, that tells me enough about what you think of your stream.
And I'm just
So
so
it's like, do you
surprised.
really care about meeting your new followers?
Yeah,
Like
new people.
trying to
You want new
actually
people?
Talk to them, get to know yourself.
Yeah,
Or get to know
1,000%.
them, I
Now
mean.
there's like,
And you have 3 people in your chat. I mean, come on.
yeah,
If you had 2,000 in your chat, okay, I can see now why you're doing that.
It's
I can
just
see.
you and your squad. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Or me and my mom. Yeah, pretty much.
the
I was gonna text her for this, but I was like, no, I'm good.
the whole Twitch thing is kind of, it can be very difficult. I've hit so many times where I wondered why I'm not getting the viewership I thought and stuff. But then at the end of it, for me, it's always a reminder of why I'm doing it in the first place. Is I
Correct.
need to be doing music, and I need to.
And that's one thing
There's the ebb and
I was
flow.
saying,
of everything.
Yeah. And I'm right now. You said you haven't seen me because I ebb and flow often, and I got I'm kind of tired of playing covers. That's why I'm gonna try and do originals. But one of the benefits of doing originals as on stream, you guys watch my Rocksmith. I get into my music. I'm not watching chat as much. I get into the tune. That's what I do.
But that's not understandable.
think there's
though, 'cause
anything
it's
wrong
like a
with that.
performance type stream, though. That's kind of
I
how
try
it is
to.
for
That's
me.
what I
Like
try
when
to
I'm playing
do.
some song, like I won't be able to read all the chat coming in
And-
until after
and-
I'm done with that part or done with the song. You know.
And Prominent's
Yeah.
kind of given me feedback on that because I asked like because I think he's one of the closest people on stream that I know. Like he's like the Twitch homie, you know what I mean? That's what we call each other. So it's like I'll
Oh,
reach out to
sweet.
him for
Twitch bestie over
Twitch
here.
bestie, yeah, that's
TB.
right. Antiperfectionist gang, let's go. But
Yeah,
I
we
one
go.
time asked him like, where do you feel like the stream can improve? Because it feels like it's going well, but I'm not seeing it from the outside perspective. And he's like, sometimes
Yeah,
you get
from our-
sidetracked from chat. You say you're going to show us a song, and then you get sidetracked with chat. Stay on topic if you can. And I was like, 10-4, got it. And then it's just it does make me feel like the show is run a lot more fluid. Sometimes I see I'm so close to catching up on chat and I have like 3 more left. I'm like, okay, now it's time to take a break and go into some music editing so we have a kickoff point for our next round of chats. I mean, because
Yes.
I have to provide
you-
some content. You know what I mean?
You're really good at the chat. You're
Thank you.
like last stream. You're That's one reason why I want to sit more and record music, because you can be more interactive with chat. I can take a break from what I'm doing and hey, let's talk for a bit. There's the let's go through the messages. Who's talking? Because I want to include the people who are here. That's a massive thing. That's why we're here. We want people to come watch us and chit chat.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm assuming you guys are all introverts like myself. I want to sit in my home. I want people to come to me, but not come to my door.
I can. Is that what considered intro? Someone told me recently.
I don't know.
that I'm introverted. I'm very good with this talking with people. I can be extroverted, but I'm not very much of a. I don't really outwardly reach out to people like in social settings, like my work and stuff like that. Like same thing, getting a new job. It wasn't. Let me be buddy with all the coworkers. It was no. I'm here to do a job, and then
correct.
No, because I've been
always remember
like that too many times.
Yeah, your coworkers are not your friends until they are your friends. Which is
that's
hard.
Right.
Yeah,
and then the one thing that I can say in regard to music production as a stream, we used to do the community cook-ups, and that was very chat interactivity, and it definitely did rely on chat interactivity. But sometimes people weren't feeling it, so it was very difficult.
Some people just want to just like chill and relax sometimes,
Exactly.
So it's like, really no point of like pushing it onto them.
Yeah, eyes. Your conversation the other day was all on food for an hour.
Yeah,
you're talking about Taco Bell and all, and that's fine. That's you're interacting with chat, and that's what they want to talk about.
Yeah, and what's nice.
Sometimes
to me,
I lose that.
What's nice to me is they help break up the monotony. Like, thank you, chat, for helping break up take after take after take, or take after take. It's just like
correct.
But my viewpoint on music production in stream, because I was like, what the. Who's gonna sit here for this? Who's gonna watch this? And then I thought, who watched PewDiePie? Somebody watched him play video games. And then Prominent one time just left a profound comment like, dude, I had no idea this could be so fun to just watch, and now it motivated me to start doing it in my streams. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. And I was like, oh snap, so this is content. Okay, cool. But at some point I started hanging out in Harmfree stream, and I remember one time watching him try for hours just to beat a boss on stream. And then
but it was still like relaxing and entertaining, just to chill and
those are called let's plays when you play video games. It's like
let's plays. Yeah.
So that's what I always tell people with music production. It's a let's play version of music, and it helps people just grasp onto it. Hopefully, that much more easily.
Especially if the people like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I'm watching that dude 15 hours trying to get up that hill is I want to see him get up that hill. I hope I'm here to see it. I was here, hi YouTube, all that type of stuff.
Or like some of the releases that I have, people are going to hear them on the album whenever it finally released, and they're going to be like, I remember this part on stream. This took forever.
And that to me is why that's one of the biggest benefits, especially what if you do blow up?
Yeah,
I was there watching Eyes do that stuff. He doesn't talk to me anymore because he's too special. But I was there on this stream.
Matt, I'll always be talking to you.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking more now. Now that'll be up to me. I won't talk to anybody else. Look, I'm famous now. Go away. That's not gonna. If that happens, it'll be with the band and not with myself. We'll see.
The interesting part is like just a year in, I can feel the water a lot more for who's genuine. I'd like to believe so. I don't think that I have an absolute perfect radar, but I am comfortable with those with whom I interact. Like Prominent, you, Fat Loud, a lot of the people in stream and chat, and anytime they're on a podcast, it's because I'm like, yeah, they're making moves, they're doing stuff, and I trust them. So it's nice to have you.
And there are a lot of good cool Twitch people up here too. A lot of people I've met that I would have never met either of you any other way.
Just through the lounge alone, like I've met so many great people in there already.
Yeah.
It's just like,
what's the weirdest thing about
streaming?
Never know you're gonna find. I have stories on that. But I've been here 3.5 years now, and I've seen my chat go from a lot of people, and then they're there for a while, and then they all just disappear. And then you get a new group of people, and then they disappear. And then you get a new group, which I understand. I'm not going to go watch the same person over and over unless I'm seeing something new. It doesn't bother me anymore. They still follow. Thank you for keeping that one number up.
But you learn.
It doesn't mean anything.
Sometimes you hit that, for whatever reason, all the stars and planets align, and you have all the new viewers in chatting, and then a handful of some of your old viewers and chatters decide to check up on you, And then next thing you know, you have like 20 people on the stream, and everyone's just kicking it, chatting with each other.
And it's not from a raid; it's organic.
Yes, that's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling.
It which is one other reason why we do this. I'll stream to nobody one day, and I'll be bummed, and don't stream for a couple of days, and I'll stream again, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of people, not from a raid. Just or a raid happens. Whoa, there's people here now. How's it going? And then I get nervous, and my voice goes up, and then let me play music. I'm gonna go stand back and play music. I'm not gonna talk anymore.
Yeah.
I was worried about this stream here because I do tend to jump over my own words a lot. I was saying I think I have what's that called? Dyslexia, word dyslexia. Instead of a letter, words will start putting themselves in where they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
or the brain goes. The brain is going down one path, and all of a sudden my brain goes, okay, well, there's 4 paths from this. I think I actually thought about this the other week, trying to figure out this stream right here has helped me think about a lot of things, and one of them was, why do I do that? Why does, when I go down a path, why does my brain go 5 different ways? I think that really comes down to, and this might be other people might have this, is growing up, I was always the people pleaser. What do I need to say to make you happy?
It's a really sucky feeling, to be honest. I've been.
It is. No, it is. As I'm older now, and I realize that that's why, because my brain's going down a path, and I'm like, okay, what do they want to hear? And I just laid out 5 things. Okay, which path do I want to go down? What do they want to hear? And that's bad.
I'm trying to switch into the idea of generally being an asshole when it's time to be an asshole. Because sometimes people say something that's so out of left field and confrontational for no reason. And being the people pleaser I am, I'm like, oh, I didn't know, or oh, sorry. And it's like, no, you need to get clapped.
Correct. But then again, I have people in my stream who, there's one guy, the Growling Octopus, who came in with a test. He tested me with he's an AI guy with some weird sentence. I'm like, okay, what are you trying to say? I had fun with it.
It was a fake bot.
No, he's a real guy. But he used the AI a lot. Like a lot of the AI art I use on my stream, he created for me.
Oh, okay.
So he's become a regular in my stream. He's a huge. I'm surprised he's not here now. He watches a lot of Twitch people, but he tests them by coming in with a weird sentence, and it could be taken out of context. But I'm like that. Okay, I had fun with it, and he came back. Oh yeah, I use this as a test, and if people come back being a jerk to me, then he starts being a jerk to them, which is not. I don't think that's agree either. But I think sometimes you got to. Like somebody wanted to ban a mod wanted to ban someone in my chat, and I'm like, well, the person didn't do anything to me. I don't need to ban them. I want to see the problem. Make me ban you, not because someone else says you're bad.
Innocent.
So you come in innocent, which is not the way of the world today, is it?
Unfortunately.
But I'll do that way. Like I teach my kid.
That's the biggest what's going to help change it is people like you and me holding on to that. Or us.
Well, I teach tell my kid, I tell all his friends, give everybody 100% respect first and let them take it away. Doesn't matter who that person is. Be nice to them. If they come up to you and be a jerk, well, now they take their respect away. Now go away.
Yep.
Where I know a lot of people are the opposite. No, you got to earn my respect. No, I don't. You don't know me. I don't know you. How am I going to earn your respect? I don't even do anything for you.
That's true.
Give respect first. So I try and give everybody. So everybody comes to my chat, I'll give them that 100% respect first. And then, okay, I see you are. I've only actually really banned one person for going over the line with me, in DMs and other things. So I'm like, dude, you're okay. And he was a streamer, which is very weird to me. This is very strange to me.
Yep. Yeah. I've banned a few people. I've banned some people on prominent stream because they came in being offensive, and I'm just like, no,
you're coming in too hot. You're out. You're coming too hot.
Yeah, they were doing too much at some point. I was just like, bro, yep.
Respect is given, trust is earned.
Yep.
Wait, Osiris, that's a good answer. That's a good one.
Yep. 1,000%.
Yeah, see, that's like, don't come in here being a jerk.
Yeah, they're just griefers, man. You have them in Rocket League. You have them in League of Legends. You have them freaking
everywhere.
You can't avoid them.
As I say, as the saying says, some people just want us to watch the world burn.
Yep.
And they're out there, and you just gotta hopefully go away. I'm go over here doing my thing.
1,000%. You do. No, you don't do you. You don't get to watch. You don't get to burn the world. No, screw you.
No, not
you
for me.
You don't get to burn the world.
So Matt,
I'm taking away your lighter.
So let's
go ahead.
Do you have?
Move on.
I know you have a couple things that you've written down, or like things that you had kind of planned to discuss on stream. So I'll lead you. Give the mic to you. Do you have questions for us or anything specific you want to discuss? And that's a bar.
Okay. I do. I got so I'll go. This is on anti-perfect. And the first question I have here: what do you guys give me the description of perfection? What is perfection?
The highest form of self-abuse, because it's never enough. You will never achieve perfection, but you will
The
always.
highest form of self-abuse.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's not a phrase I made up. I don't remember who said it.
No, I think I've heard that before. Yeah. That's not a bad answer. Okay. Because we talk about the anti-perfection, and I think I brought it up to you before. Like you're anti-perfection, but you're time aligning. You're making sure everything is perfect. I don't think that is being anti-perfection. You just want to get it to how it's not. It's how you. No, let me phrase that. It is. It.
You know why? You know what makes it anti-perfectionist? Really?
What?
Because I can call it done. Guy like that had some mistakes in it. I don't even remember what they are anymore. Blank Page had a couple things in it. It's the best performing single that I've released on Spotify, like ever. I'm pretty sure.
Like my song "Love at First Sight," like there were some mistakes in there, but I still released it, and everybody loves it.
And
everybody loves it.
And
same thing with like Dr. PC. It's like
And I released an album in 2015. I released another album in 2017. And at those times, I thought they were like, I did perfect. I did absolutely smashing, mate. Got it right. And then I come back later, I'm like, no. No, you missed the mark on a lot of things. So at some point it clicked in my mind where it's like, why do I keep sitting on songs for like 2 or 3 years and never putting them out?
Correct.
So
okay, I want to go down that path. This is a weird path that I thought about a while ago, and maybe you're all in the same vein as me. When I'm writing a song and I'm recording a song, I think one thing that really clicked to me is, when I'm recording a song, I'll play the same part over and over and over, trying to be perfect, but really comes down to, this is probably the last time I will play this. Because once it's done recording, I don't play anymore. I'm not in a band. I'm not taking this music anywhere. It's off in the ether. So I want to have fun playing this part, because I'm never going to play it again. So that comes down to me, the perfect. I might take this one take, in Reaper, probably all DAWs, it numbers your track. Right, so you start at 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. I'll be on a solo at 99. I just done 90 takes of this one thing. I'm so glad
it's not just me for the Lord.
No, it's not.
Right.
But I'm going back to, sometimes this is gonna be the last time I'm playing it, so I'm gonna have fun playing this damn thing.
Yep.
Thankfully, with the band, if I write for the band, okay, I'll be playing this over and over. But right now, I'm not. I'm writing for myself.
But it is interesting that you bring up that point, because there are times where I go back and I'm like, I haven't even released a song yet, and I kind of need to remember how I was playing it or relearn it.
Like, relearn it.
Same, though.
It is.
Same.
It's kind of crazy. And then it's funny because Prominent sometimes is doing comps in his stream, and he'll be like, man, now I know how eyes feels. I'm just like, man, shut your ass up.
Right, I literally got to go back and like teach myself to sit again. Like,
I hate that. Especially when you forget it. Yes.
No, I mean like not that, but like when he's sitting there comping and trying to get it right, he's like, I know how eyes feels in his stream, because I see him doing this all the time. I'm like, man, shut. It's all good fun.
Yeah, but
it reminds me of that one time when you were trying to practice this one part, you kept playing it wrong or something. You kept playing it a different way, and on stream you were just like, stop hitting the high E.
You clipped it. Somebody clipped it at least.
No, I think clipped it.
I think when it gets to that point, you got to put the guitar down or put the instrument down. Take a pause.
Right.
Something is blocking you. Take a pause.
Emphasis on put it down. Don't throw.
You're like, I do it every time. I'm not recording.
Don't throw.
Like, it's supposed to go up. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was going on.
How dare you pick it incorrectly?
Yeah.
And I think there's also, go back to the recording. If we're recording on stream, that is something completely different too, because we're trying to be entertaining. And I what I wrote down here was, I understand recording on stream to stretch it out. So there's a benefit to recording on stream. I can stretch out this recording. I can take my time with this part over and over and over, because I'm trying to be entertaining over here.
Yeah.
If I'm not streaming, I'm just focused on get it done, move, get it done, get it done, get it done.
Yeah.
I kind of do that when I'm on stream too, because I'm still trying to learn the recording on stream, but I want to do it over and over, and I want the people to check out what I'm doing. It goes back to this, probably going to be the last time I'm ever going to play this thing. So on stream, at least you got that. You got somebody watching you. Okay, now it's done. Go check. It's going to be on Spotify in 2 weeks. Go check it out, type of thing.
Yep. I do leave some of it for content on purpose. I do.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
Because like I've had so many streams, and these are usually the low points, and like where I'm hitting like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this at all? Because like sometimes viewership is low, like we discussed earlier. But when I have something that I need to get done and I'm doing it, and there are 3 viewers, I appreciate all 3 of you. Thank you so much for being there. Genuinely, not even kidding.
Lurk away. Correct.
But at least I have something to do, and I'm not relying on chat interactivity. I'm providing content instead of chat having to provide it for me.
Instead of the just chatters sort of pulling up, Jubilee, they're getting sued for that now, and they're watching something else. So just chatting streams you're watching something else. You're doing something else.
Yep.
No, the person that brought me to Twitch is by a guy by the name of Pay Money Wubby. Have you ever seen him on here?
That name kind of sounds familiar.
He's one of those middle, like
familiar.
10, 20,000 people, viewers every stream type of guy. But he's entertaining. I think. Well, up above that's 50, 60, and then I don't know.
Oh no.
Well, if you look at ratings, I think us 3 right here would be close to the 0.01% of Twitch, because it's such a big bell curve, or whatever you want to call that curve.
Yeah, whenever it's so saturated at a lower
at the lower people. Yeah, so we're considered up in that range, even though we get the minimal. Forgot where we were talking about there.
All right, you were about to move on to another question. Prominent, were you able to answer any of those for you? Because I answered what anti-perfectionism was for me. What is it similar to you, or?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty similar to me. Like, what I see it as is something that's honestly non-existent, and it's just a concept made by everybody to achieve something that's pretty much impossible to achieve. Because I feel like. And that's where part of the anti-perfectionism concept sits within me. It's not it's more or less trying to achieve something that's not impossible, or that's not impossible to achieve. But at the same time, you see it as a challenge to prove yourself every time. Because if you think about it, like the first ever record that you would put out, you think to yourself, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be this. I can make sure I can make no mistakes or anything like that. Yeah. And what if you release that album and it is perfect? What's going to happen to your next one? Yeah, it's going to be perfect too, but it's going to be at that same level. And at the end of the day, people are going to look at it as, oh, he's just doing the same thing. Like, yeah, the first one was perfect, but it's not really improving. I'm not seeing any new changes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that. So
was there any growth from it? Because sometimes, I saw that. Sometimes perfection can stifle growth.
Exactly. That's the way I see it. Because if you're trying to be perfect and you feel like you are pretty close to a point of perfection, then you're saying that you're about to reach your peak and you're not going to get any better after that.
And we don't want that.
I feel exactly, because I feel like everybody's potential is limitless at the end of the day.
I also like to think it's relatable too. Like a lot of people go on Instagram and see the perfect Instagram model, or look at magazines, see the perfect cinematography, perfect lighting, everything looks perfect, and people always compare themselves to that. So to have somebody say, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm not sloppy. I work hard for this, but it's not going to be perfect.
I'm not sloppy.
I think it kind of lets people relate to it a little bit and understand, hey man, maybe I need to lighten up on myself.
Yeah, well, it's just that people are comparing themselves for the wrong reasons, I would say.
Yeah. And they might not even
correctly compare themselves.
Well, I'll go back
if you're
going to
compare yourself to somebody else, it should be for a reason to give yourself constructive criticism at the end of the day if you want to try to better yourself in a way. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at that one person. That's inspiration right there,
Yeah.
But you're still not trying to go for perfection. But you just want to be a little better.
Even someone like you, Matt, from the outside, you look at the anti-perfectionist community and how does it strike you immediately? I mean, I think I actually know the answer. You're a perfectionist still. You still call me a perfectionist because I'm drawing notes, which is fair.
Well, I'm not going to call you a perfectionist, but I'm going to go just using the term anti-perfectionist. No, I'm just pseudo anti-perfectionist. I want to get it as best as I can, but I'm not going to worry about it being perfect.
Yeah, that's more or less. That's more or less us. Yeah.
But I'll also go with some notes here I had with some Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page is a sloppy guitar player, but he's one of the best. People consider him one of the best in the world. Go listen to a solo by himself. It is sloppy. It's messy. It's meh. But in the mix and in the context, it's exactly what we need. There's a YouTuber by the name of The Art of Guitar. If you ever heard of that guy, and he did a thing where he was talking about he goes, I'm thinking about doing an Iron Maiden cover band, and I'm going to hire a bass player. And here's 3 snippets of bass samples of the people I'm interviewing, and it was this one that was kind of sloppy, this one that was perfect, perfectly, every note was crisp and clear, and then just an okay one. And most people chose that perfect, crisp and clear one. He comes back, goes, the messy one is the actual recording from Iron Maiden. This is the we've been listening to all over, is this track right here. But we all didn't hear that it's not crisp, it's not clean, but it fit with the song. It fits with how he does it. So sometimes you don't need to be, or in a mix, everything changes in a mix.
Big time.
As I'm trying to get back
sake.
into mixing and stuff, like never solo an instrument when you're mixing. Try not to solo, because once you solo something, you're gonna make this thing sound great. You unsolo it, it sounds like crap. And how I learned that one was a good one was Rocket by Smashing Pumpkins. Song Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of that is just a guitar, and it's this whiny, high-pitched, mid-gone, no bass guitar at all. But it's the guitar through the whole song, and it sounds nasty, but when this band comes back in, it sounds perfect.
Yeah,
it's where it's supposed to be. By itself, it sounded like crap.
Fills the frequency.
Like, it fills it fills that whatever was needed, and it was I'm bouncing around a little bit here. One book when I was growing up, I read that a lot of stuff I learned from was the human ear can really only make out 3 instruments at a time in general. So that's why Metallica is so big. You got guitar, drums, vocals. That's it. The bass is gone. You had a solo come in to change for vocals. So if you mix in that way, where was I going with that way? You mix with the way that a lot of bands will do that. These 3 instruments will come forward, even though there's a whole bunch behind it. But if you start listening to it, you'll hear it. Good example would be Bob Seger and a couple of his songs, like Night Moves with the acoustic guitar. There's acoustic guitar in there. I read this. That's why I noticed. They didn't mic the fretting hand, they mic'd the picking hand. So if you listen to that song, you're really hearing the clicking of those strings. And that was important. That was one of the 3. When that goes away, they bring something else back in. So I'm trying to listen to that more myself and do that. That's my drummer. What's up, DC? That's the drummer of my band.
What's up, DC? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah. We're gonna be in Reno next week.
Reno, let's go, dude.
With his house on Tahoe, must be nice.
Nice to meet you, DC. Thanks for coming through, man. Good to see you. My name is Eyes. This is Prominent BEG.
Nice to meet you.
And
man.
this is Matt.
I'm Tom. I go by Tom.
In case you didn't know.
Right there.
I've known that guy for he was in the Marin's Lane band, so I've known him for decades.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a link to a Spotify list with just me and him. It's just him on drums and piano and singing, me and guitar, bass, and singing, and we wrote a whole album together.
Those are the links that you sent last night, right?
Yeah,
because I'll be able to put those in the YouTube description.
Sure. Well, it just gives away the last name, but we named ourselves last name, which we shouldn't have done. But I wasn't thinking I was going to be anywhere on streaming or anything like that when I got here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, but a couple people have my last name, and I don't think it is what it is. Big of a deal as what and my paranoid mind makes it to be. I hope.
Correct. But I'll go with this: just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean someone's not out to get me.
Yeah. I mean, people say I have nothing to hide, but yeah, you might not have anything to hide, but you have plenty to keep private.
There's crazy people out there.
You have plenty to keep private.
Oh yeah,
plenty. I think I had one stalker for a while. I hope they're gone now. I don't know what to call him a stalker, but it was very strange. A streamer, by the way, it was very strange.
Yeah.
We were talking about a couple of things like Antiperfectionist. So I have 2 things here.
Yes.
Some of these I wonder, do I actually bring these up or not? I'll go with this.
Bring them up.
Anti-perfectionist, but you both use autotune.
Pitch correction.
Pitch correction, yes. I use autotune. I can't deny that.
Now, Eyes, you were doing it with a vocal track, but you were using it as an instrument, right? That's what you were doing the other day. You were using it as an instrument that, like, a lot of people use autotune as an instrument, not just a pitch correction. They are different.
How do you mean? How do you mean for an instrument?
Like you can say, for example, like T-Pain, like he doesn't need autotune at all. He's a great singer, but he uses it just to add a fun effect, just to make his songs pop a little more.
And where it came from, Cher. That was an instrument to make her voice do that weirdness. I don't think it was that they weren't trying to make her pitch correct because she could sing pitch correct. It was mostly to to as an instrument.
Add a little flavor,
Add flavor. Yeah, I got no problem with that. But if you're using it to
Harmfree even said as a style, autotune as
a style, as a style. There's another YouTuber by name of
Was I using that
Wings of Peg?
As a style?
Were you using?
I use pitch correction to make it sound as natural as possible without being auto-tuning. And so I guess to answer your original question, anti-perfectionist, but why autotune? For lack of a better term, yeah, pitch correction and autotune, we'll lump it in the same thing because they're extremely similar. But I don't like the vocals to be off 440. If I'm holding a good long note or I'm hitting a high note or something like that, I like it to be matched in with the song because that's one of the main things that people get drawn to when they're listening to music. Again,
correct.
Again, anti-perfectionism, but not sloppy, because vocals can be extremely sloppy even if you are a good singer.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, big time. Yes, and there's always a little bit. I got no problem with a little bit here and there. I think it's just that if which is in the music industry today, it's relied upon. On a lot of people.
Well, it's also some radios and labels will not play it at all unless it's been pitch corrected.
Correct, pitch corrected.
Genuinely, to answer your question, I think it sounds better. I think it sounds better when the vocals are just that tight and that clean. There's a lot.
It is not just like loose and all over the place and stuff.
Because I guess I see it as another tool. Because like if we really went into deep with the anti-perfectionist, I wouldn't EQ my vocals. I wouldn't put reverb or delay. I would just go through the mic and not mix it.
I don't see that. To me is not anti-perfection. Adding reverb and stuff, that's a little different. That's flavor. And I'm not saying I'm completely against it because we use it too. I use it all the time myself. Not all the time, and I probably will use it because I probably can't hit those notes anymore. There's a YouTuber by the name of Wings of Pegasus who goes over this a lot, and he just went over a whole thing where the Eagles were caught using pitch correction and backing tracks, and people have complained about this. Why am I paying $100 to see you when I'm not even hearing you right now?
I wouldn't use it live. No way would I use pitch correction or auto-tune live.
Well, you need high-end equipment for that to keep up, which is possible. It's just possible. That's like playing to a click track. I have issues playing live to a click track, and we don't right now, but then there's benefits to it where I can set up effects. I can use lighting effects. We can do a lot of stuff around a click track
I
live.
personally wouldn't have an issue playing to click track as long it's like if it's in your ear live, just to stay on.
Or the drummer's ear. Give it the drummer ear, and I'll play it because I want to play to him.
That would be kind of sick too.
Yeah. And then you can do stuff with that. You can do lighting effects and MIDI effects. You can do more stuff, which I want to do with the band and stuff. But right now we're not playing with the click. So we're talking about that now. Do we want to play the click or not? And who gets the click?
So with the auto-tune question, do you notice it in my songs?
I'd have to listen to them without knowing you did it. Because if I watch your stream, I know, okay, that part was auto-tuned. When I listen to it, okay, that part was pitch corrected or adjusted, as it were.
I guess I got clapping back with pitch correction is kind of a straw man argument for me to do, so I always draw that statement because it more or less is auto-tune because you're tuning it. You know what I mean?
You're tuning it.
So I'll take the L on that. But yeah,
as long as it's not noticed,
and that's my goal.
As long as it's not noticeable.
That's my goal, is to make it not noticeable. Where you're going to notice it most is whenever it's going from one note to the next and it has that snap effect. If you can remove the snap effect, which I do, I take time into removing those snap effects and still adding vibrato instead of it just being a flatline note, which again I do. I like it to sound as natural as possible with it being in tune at 440 hertz.
And that's what I try to do with mine whenever I use the auto tune on my thing. Like I turn it down that way it's not like too intense or whatever. That way the note still seems somewhat natural. It's just not all over the place, and
you can totally tell when it's like turned up all the way. I can totally.
It's just gonna be like that, like completely robotic,
or it's too perfect. It's too it's just not the robotic between.
Like it gets too perfect to a point where it sounds wrong,
Yeah, it sounds wrong.
With the pitch correction, I can choose how quick I want those things to happen.
Yeah,
I can choose how if I want it, just tap that high note real quick, as what a singer would more naturally do.
Now, of course, I want to preface, or I should have prefaced it earlier. we all do what we need to do to get our vision out and have fun with what we do and get an output. So how we get there, you're perfect or you're not.
Mhm.
So however we do it. So when I bring this stuff up, it's like being married. When I bring this stuff up, I'm not attacking. I'm just bringing up.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Exactly.
remember that. Because so my next line here would be, why not just do it right the first time? Which is why I play a solo over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I got it right.
I would say that, in a sense, for me at least, when I'm trying to like do a solo or trying to do like a lick or something that I'm trying to record or something like that, for me at the same time, it's a sense of practicing it as well, like constantly drilling it, trying to get it more and more in my head.
Yeah.
And that's what really helps with it as well. Trying to record it, it makes me more like focused, trying to get that part right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, why don't I get it right the first time? I would say, even if I do get it right the first time and it's like, okay, that sounds good, like in the production, you know?
Yeah.
I know that later down the road, after I'm working on something else, I'm going to come back to this and be like, I think this would actually be better with this. I'm going to try this and try something different, see how it sounds, you know?
Yeah.
So I know there's like a lot of additions and different things I'm taking out and adding in.
I think that
which could intense change the solo as well.
That's what you were doing the other day, is you were taking a note and moving around. Okay, does this sound good? Does this sound good? You can use it as a construction building tool also. You know, I don't have to, I don't want to sing okay, let's sing it this way. Sing it in this key, this key, this key, this key. I spent 15 hours recording the same thing in 5 different ways. Okay,
but there's almost like your question is almost, I guess, is paradoxal the word? Because
maybe.
Why don't you get it right the first time? Because you're going to chase that. You're going to get it right, and then you're going to miss that one note, so you're going to re-record it, and then you're going to miss another note, and then you're going to hit every note perfectly, but then you're going to be nasally at some point. But so at some point, that leads into perfectionism at a much more worse case than just using, like, in my opinion, like pitch correction, to where you can just that was pretty good. I just ended up singing that one note just a little off. I can just pull that up and fix it. So to me, like,
I think you don't have to do like a whole recording over again.
Yeah, for me, thankfully, I'm blessed to be able to sing. I'm thankful that I don't need auto-tune. It's like, but I'm not going to hit every note perfect. So it's nice to have auto-tune.
Why don't
you? Nobody will
help me hit that. But that's where my argument is, because you then start focusing on perfectionism at a much more problematic case.
And you can get bogged down in recording the same line over and over for 4 days, and all of a sudden I'm done
just
with
to fix one note, you know what I mean?
With one note, correct. So, okay, don't get me wrong. You know, and I don't know where this came in, but I was watching a interview with a editor who put together the latest, I can't remember that movie, that Living in a Crater movie. The producer's director's name right now, Wes Anderson, who directs very weird, very specific with what he does. And how he was talking, the guy was talking about, we'll record this shot here 15 times, and we'll cut this picture out over here. We'll cut that little piece here, this here. The light was wrong on this take, so we'll take the light from this take. And the whole scene behind that we're looking at, like my video, right, what I'm looking at here, these guitars could have been punched in again or edited in a different take. Everything around me is a different take. So, and all that matters is that output, and the output is acceptable to whoever is watching or listening or consuming that product. So it doesn't really matter what we do. Even we call us Antiperfectionist and we spend 3 days on one little part. Is it sound good in the end result, and do people like it?
Yeah.
And are people going to come back to you? I heard you auto-tune that. No. They might know you did it because they saw you on stream do it. Otherwise, they won't know if we did it.
I also don't hide it either. People but also, like,
that's good.
The thing with getting bogged down in perfectionism again, producing music for like 19 years now, I've spent so much time doing that stuff, and it's like a huge waste of time. There's so much that goes into production, into the mix, into the master, into promoting a release, into the final release. It's like, why not make everything as simple and easy as possible along the way, so you don't have to get bogged down. It's so much. It's enough as it is. It's stressful enough as it is. So take the tools and make it as simple.
And utilize the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm just as a question. And the question I hear is, what do you like more, recording or mixing? Because this kind of goes along that line. You're recording. I want to get recordings done, and I want to mix, because mixing sometimes is more fun.
I think
sometimes.
I think I favor mixing more. Well, I don't know, because that one's a tough question, because
Well,
For
doing
me, I would
both,
have to say recording, honestly.
You like
being the
recording more?
artist and the producer
Yeah.
is a different thing. If you're just a producer, that's what you're doing. But if you're an artist and producer, yeah, you gotta which one you like. I actually like the recording part a little more.
I guess
think.
sometimes I
don't know.
get through a recording and then start going into the mixing phase, and I'm like, oh frick, that part needs to be re-recorded. I've heard it. I know it needs to be changed. So then I get like, oh, okay, let me get ready to record this, and it's like, but then whenever the whole production is done and everything's recorded, I do my basic mix, I do a pink mix, and then I do a third mix. So I do 3 separate mixes. So sometimes for me, that's such a huge hurdle to just get started mixing.
Yeah.
But I find
what's a pink mix? I think I know what that means. What do you mean?
A mix, I mix as I produce and to where it sounds good to me. Then realistically, you're supposed to send it to a mixing engineer because they have fresh ears on it, completely fresh ears, and then they can adjust it.
No, we don't have that.
Yeah. So what I do is I do what's called a pink noise mix technique, and you use pink noise, you solo the pink noise, and then solo every individual sound and instrument through your song. If you have 150 tracks, you solo each and every one
and match it to the pink noise.
Match it to the pink noise, and then
okay.
As long as you mix everything to where you barely hear it above the pink noise. The theory is that pink noise has all the frequencies in it: highs, mids, lows, the whole spectrum of frequencies.
That's cool.
Then at that point, I'm at a ground zero on my mix, and then it actually sounds pretty good, to be honest with you.
I think that's how the AI mixing is working. I think that's how they do it.
Really?
For sure, that's how the AI. Yeah, because you can send. There's AI mixing and mastering out there doing everything now.
Unfortunately,
I want to sound like this. Give all the tracks. There you go. Sounds like this.
Yeah.
Sounds lifeless and boring.
And then after
thank you.
After the pink mix is done, then I'll do a third mix. So there are many mixing stages for me.
A refining mix. Yeah. I never did the pink mix.
I put a master on it, and then I mix while I master too. That's a whole process.
Well, and mastering used to be the whole point was mastering so that all the songs sound similar on an album. That's not how people listen anymore. That doesn't. Spotify does not do an album.
Similar volume. Yeah.
Similar volume. Well, but similar volume and maybe a tonal. Back in the 70s, 80s, they make sure like the EQ is similar a little bit. But nowadays, no. Spotify doesn't list it per album. Not many people listen per album. It's give me a playlist and there's these songs, and they can be different albums, so it doesn't matter what it is. And thankfully, the loudness wars are over. And you guys, as a producer, you went through the loudness wars. Those were
loudness wars are.
You were post. That was like the 2000s.
How do you mean they're over? Because I would beg to differ.
Let me phrase it. They're not over, but it's not as important to be as loud as everybody anymore. Yeah. You don't need this black waveform. Which drove me crazy. I'd rendered out just black waveform.
That's
just
but
no dynamic at all.
From my perspective, it seems like everybody knows how to master a lot easier nowadays, or they have tools. Yeah. Unfortunately, AI is doing a lot of this stuff for people. I don't like that aspect because it takes away the trade, the talent, the actual creativity. But anyway,
you can't really learn how to like mix and master on your own when you got AI doing it for you.
Yeah,
you don't need to.
Yeah,
but then again, those kids are the ones out there ruling on Instagram, making money using autotune and AI to fix everything.
But I don't want to be too hypocritical because usually whenever I get my mix down really good, I let my mastering program analyze it and throw a master on it by itself. Then I adjust it. So I partially do.
So it's like a suggestion box.
It partially kind of does use AI to master the song, but I go in and alter it to where it sounds better for me. I just like to get that kickstart.
Yeah.
But so I don't want to be hypocritical. I do use it a little bit as a tool, but at the end of the day, it's me going in and
just using it as a tool is understandable though. Like you're not just like completely using it and just saying
back to the auto tune, auto pitch. We're not using it as a way to fix our stuff. We're using it as a tool in our toolbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. That's good stuff here.
Yep.
I got more, but what do you guys got? We've been rambling on. I ramble on.
I kind of.
I think us as streamers, we kind of have to.
I don't honestly. Right, I've been vibing with this.
Ask away, dude. I like this.
Yeah, ask away, man. We're here for you.
Let me see. I did have to. I'm just looking at my comments. Eyes being young didn't recognize hair metal. What? What?
That is.
You know what hair metal is now? Yes.
No, not off the
top of my head. 80s hair metals. Motley Crue, Dokken, Great White, Striper, all those bands from the 80s with the long hair. Your hair, dude.
Okay. Like Guns
Oh
N'
my
So
Roses.
he's got like
Guns
the
N'
80s long
Roses?
hair look,
Was
basically.
Guns N' Roses
Guns N'
considered-
Roses was, I don't consider them a hair band. No, they were just post hair band.
Okay. Anybody listening
Imagine
back to
Eyes
this
having like
podcast
the
is
type
gonna
of
know,
80s
but-
hair with like the bangs too, like true 80s.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
shit.
And
Like,
you need the hairspray.
Oh,
Yeah,
And I played the
yeah.
I played
now
the
you're-
whiskey.
Now you're making me think of like the Tony Hawk, like back in the day, like
I'm gonna have to pick up- I'm gonna have
skateboarders
to-
and stuff like that.
kind of, yes. I played the Whiskey Go-Go a couple times, and every time I'm there, I'm like, this is where hair
Or
metal
like
started.
more along the
It was
lines
like,
of
yes.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure type of beat, where their hair.
No,
Dang, I'm
I'm
taking
gonna have to
Ls.
I'm gonna find a picture here because I'm running through OBS. I'll see if I can find.
I
a
would guess
picture
like
here.
Toto vibes, I guess.
No.
They didn't have any like hair like his.
Am I okay?
No,
let me get. I'm gonna get controversial. Am I the
Oh my
only
gosh.
one here who really cannot stand the song "Africa" by Toto?
I
I'll
think
say
it's a
yeah.
decent song. People just played it
Decent
over
song.
and over.
Correct.
It's
It got played too
overplayed.
much.
Never-
It's not a
never
bad
cared
song
for
at
it.
all. I think it's
But
nice. It's just
at least it's not
overplayed
that
the crap
controversial.
out of.
Hey, Bowtie.
Yeah.
I just like
What's up,
that
Bowtie?
band. That band was all a bunch of studio musicians who got famous. So these guys were
Toto?
on all these albums. Yeah, Toto.
I
They were
didn't know
on
that.
those. The guys in that band are on the hundreds of albums from the 70s, 80s, and then they put Toto together and became a big band also, which is good.
Yeah.
I think that guitar player from Toto was the one on most of Michael Jackson's songs.
Oh,
I can't
definitely.
think of his name right now. Can't think of his name. I can see the dude, but I can't think of his name. But yeah, it's okay. I'm making more fun that you don't know all this old
No, you
music
can
because
make.
I
Yeah, you can make
grew
fun.
up
Back
with
in
all
my
this stuff.
day. No, just kidding.
Back in my day, we used to listen to real music. Yeah, no.
Okay,
That's
hold
not-
on. Back in my day, we listened to Backstreet Boys. Okay, do you even know who they are?
Of course.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was that Backstreet Boys is old enough to where John Belushi made fun of them. So
Dude,
now you know who
Backstreet
John
Boys,
Belushi
I Want It
is.
That Way is genuinely one of the best.
Yeah.
One of the best songs written. It's so good.
Most like one of the most revolutionary like pop songs.
It is
so.
such a good song.
I'm a huge fan of "Toxic" by Britney Spears, which is
I don't
along
remember that
same-
song. I know I've heard that song. I just can't like place it.
Yeah,
in my
it's just
head right
something
now.
about very well written song.
Some of the stuff on
it-
Oops, I Did It Again. I don't know if she was writing it or if there were other writers, but some of the chord structures that were used in her music
Yeah.
was like they were like, what? Who uses this?
Yeah,
It's so
who just-
shocking and so good. It was
Right.
crazy.
That's
Well,
what was
we can
great
go on-
about the music back then. Like it just had
Yeah.
more unique chord structures, and now everything is a lot more simplified now.
Yeah, give me some nice majors and minors, and we're good to go. Now, I was just playing a song on stream the other day with this chord. I don't even know what it was. Yeah. Well, I only know 3 chords, and I'm a millionaire. I mean, look at the Ramones. It's so easy to do.
You know,
I wish.
so why if you don't have something, what's your songwriting process? What's your go-to
Writing process?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, it's been a while.
Do you find yourself in times where you go too intricate and you have to remind yourself that less is more?
Yes. Kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. That's a big one of that is with the band. So the band I'm in, we got 2 guitar players, a singer, and 2 keyboardists, as it were. And the singer writes most of the stuff, and his stuff is boring. It's very boring bass line, simple stuff in the background. I can't do that boring.
Does he know that
So
you
we've got-
have that opinion?
We've talked. Maybe not to say it's boring. It's just he writes bass as in bass is to do its job sitting in the back here. That's not how I play. That's not how
Nope.
I am.
No, dude.
I want-
Bass gotta move. Like somebody said something about the fact that I write funky bass. I'm like, yeah. It has to be
Got
funky.
to,
You
you
gotta
know?
make
Got
it
to.
move.
Correct.
Can't be some
Well,
boring.
his
instrument.
bass would be good.
Some
It'd be
bland
good.
bass
It's a
just-
song, but it'd be kind of bland, right? Which is one reason why I play fretless, so it gives me something I can have more fun, even if it's the same 3 notes. I can do. Okay, one note I have here talking about writing. Because you asked about writing status. Like I was watching an interview with where is it? There it is. It was Satriani, Joe Satriani,
Mhm.
guitar player. My next guitar I think is going to be one of his, since I already have a Vi. And his whole thing was like, because he was trying to write a song for his new album. He's all like, somebody asked him, how do you write? And he goes like, let's say 3 notes. I can play these 3 notes 100 different ways. And which one do I choose is the right one? I can go da da da. I can go da da da. I can go da da da. It's the same thing in the same time, but which one do I want to pick, and which one fits with the song? So like I've been using that with the band, because now how it works now is, thankfully, we're all like, there'll be a riff written, and then we'll get together and jam, and I can write my own bass line. They might, if he has something, okay, give me an example. Okay, I'll take your thing and I'll tweak it to how I want it to be. So a lot of it is.
Was there a question attached to this?
No, you were asking about my writing style. I'm trying to get back to that, I think, or how I do that. So like in the band, I write a different way than I would write for myself. So right now I'm trying to write a bass part for a new song. So the new song comes to me. I have all the parts down, no bass to it. Okay, and the drummer has his part. Okay, now I'll play my bass to the drums and the vocals. So a lot of the music in the New Nothings is the bass is following the vocals, and I like that a lot. Like Smashing Pumpkins. If you listen to Smashing Pumpkins, the vocals and the drums are usually in sync almost all the time. You know, he's accenting his voice with a snare hit. Even though I go, I suppose. You know, it's a snare hit every time. So I've been trying to do similar with bass and the vocals, and he tends to write like that too. So I'll follow him more than I'll follow the guitars, which is kind of cool to do. So I think that also helps accentuate the vocal line, because he is a very stuttery kind of vocal kind of. So when I'm writing for the band, it's a little different than writing for myself. Writing for the band,
do you enjoy more? Are you allowed to say that without your band hearing it?
No, yeah.
Controversial.
I don't know. I think if anyone wants it, no. I
They're
enjoy
gonna come
them both.
after you if you say the wrong answer.
Yeah. I know they actually know I had problems before, because they were giving me, here's your bass line, play the bass line, shut up. Well, I'm not going to do that. You can get somebody else to do that. I'm something different. I'm something different. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bring my speed metal to what I'm doing right now, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So I do tend to like writing myself. I haven't done as much writing myself lately, and thankfully you guys are helping me get back into writing. So I have 3 songs I've written many years ago, and I'm trying to, and in my head for all this time, let's get them out.
Stream the other day.
Let's get him out. So I got almost that done. Now I got talk to my kid after I'm done with this, because he's going to record the bass for me. He's going to record the bass on that song, because he can do it.
So
it's not going to be like me, but he can do it. Yeah, I want him. And the song is about his siblings, so it's kind of a weird little thing that we have him play on the song for his siblings. Two girls that when I was married, she brought 2 twins with her, so I had that in my life, and they disappeared. So I wrote a whole song about them disappearing.
Dang.
Well, the stars disappeared one day. They were there yesterday, now they're not here today. What happened?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Right. That is what it is. Oh, we can go into more about that one. That got way weird. But writing myself, I very much enjoy writing, but I have a tough time. Like, okay, I'll sit here watching YouTube or whatever, and I'll be playing. Oh, that sounds like a good riff, and I'll record it, and then it just fades, disappears. So one note I had here I was going to talk to you about was, let's see, where was it? Blah, 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 blah. We talked about that. I did that one already. So I have a line here. How do you guys just, almost case what I wrote down. Record everything, but have a good system. And I do not. And I'll go with that is Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was very well known, I guess, for he would just write these little parts and record them everywhere. That's why his songs sound so weird. He would take parts that are just completely out of nowhere, join them up, here's a song. And Eddie Van Halen, I never knew this either. Eddie would do the same thing. His solos were piece by piece. He'd write one part here, one part there, one part here, link them up, write a solo. Where I'm more of like, I'm going to write a solo, I'm going to ad-lib it a couple times and refine it. Where he would just take, oh yeah, this part, link them together. There you go. And if you listen to Eddie Van Halen solos now with that in mind, you'll totally hear where there's a change, there's a part. It's so weird how that works. So what about you guys? So do you do that? How do you do that? Creativity is coming at all times. How do you record it? How do you keep track of it? Or do you?
I'll let Prominent go first this time. Unless you don't have an answer.
I'm trying to think. Like, usually for me, talking about like how do I go about like recording in different processes and things like that.
Or no, like your writing process. Like I said, you might write a riff today, and then you want to record it, but keep it somewhere so I can go. Oh, I tried. I had that riff in D that was pretty cool. Where is that riff? How do I go find that riff again? Because I forgot it 3 weeks later. I forgot the next day.
On the day for me, like in my mood when I feel like writing something. Usually, how it starts for me is like I'll just get like a random burst of like, not like a random burst, but like a random thought of like just notes, like because I'm always like playing like music in my head and things like that. And I hear like a nice chord progression, either from a song, and then I end up making something else out of it. I'm like, oh, that might work. So I'll either like write it down or just keep playing it in my head, until I'm able to get home and actually like write something down with it.
I'm very
and
envious that you can do that.
That's where it comes with the jam sessions that I have on stream. Because usually it's like a new set of chords that I like heard in my head earlier, and I was just like, I want to see what that sounds like, and I try to make something out of it. So I usually like start with like the piano chords, like some Rhodes or something like that, and then I'll just build off from that. Just trying to get like a rhythm section going at least. So it usually starts with like the keys, then probably like the bass, and then I'll add like some percussion or drums in there.
So you're building it. You're building it all in one track. But what about like maybe eyes that come to you? Like you have a cool riff. As a guitar player, I would have a riff, put it in Reaper, say song in D, and then forget about it. You can forget the whole thing altogether. Where sometimes I want to go back to these riffs and I want to pull it out. Yeah, okay. I remember that riff I wrote. That's also I think how Rob Zombie writes. Also, he'll just throw a whole bunch of stuff on a tape and go back and start putting stuff together, and then he has a song.
Right.
Which I can never do that.
Holy crap! That sounds stressful.
Yeah, to me it does a little bit. Exactly.
That's just so much.
I want to just get it out and start creating. Where these guys are going back 2 years ago, I wrote a riff that fits perfect in this song. Oh my god, how'd you remember that riff?
Well, for me, I think sometimes it's just practice.
It's just like those little like licks and stuff you can remember, or at least for me at least. And it's just like, oh, that one lick, like that one like jazz lick or something like that. It's like, oh, that would actually fit great in that song. And that's one thing I love about jazz, because like a lot of people, it's like you learn from each other and you transcribe from each other, but you make it your own in a way. You add like your own little flavor to it. And that's why in like a lot of jazz songs, you can hear like similar licks that other people did. And it's like, oh, did he do something like that? Or didn't she sing something like that similar,
Yeah.
But it's not the same song.
No. Well, that's one of the benefits of jazz. You can do whatever you want. And it sounds good, right?
Yeah. Take something off and make it your own and putting in something else.
On a piano.
That was a jazz joke.
I love saying that one, though. I mean, to answer your question, what are we talking about? Any particular part in the writing process? The beginning, middle,
I think
end? Are you desperate for a part? Because it depends.
I would say it mostly depends on
mostly depends. I agree.
For me, I have a 50-50 method whenever it comes to writing songs. 1001, shout out my dad. And I was just thinking about this conversation with my dad because he was like, huh, when I told him. But I have the mentality or the idea of 50% of the time I'll record something whenever it's in my head. 50% of the time I won't. More or less, I like to rely on the 50% of the time where I don't. So if I have a melody or something in my head, and I've said this on stream, if I have something in my head where I'm like, oh, I really like the sound of that, I then forcefully just don't record it. Just let it go. If it's a good song, I'm going to remember that. It's going to come back. Then I know it's worth writing. If it's not, man, I really liked that riff a few hours ago. Sucks that I don't remember it, but it probably wasn't going to hit. And
wasn't that right well?
Sometimes I do record it. But if we're at a point where we're talking about I'm 90% deep into a song, and for whatever reason, I just can't get that last piece to fit. For whatever freaking reason, I'm struggling, and this whole piece right here is holding up the rest of the song. Because after I solve this, the rest of the song is I know exactly where I'm going to go. It's going to just flow into whatever it's going to be. It sometimes takes weeks, months to finally get that part. And then when I get that part, I'm like, oh, voice record, hurry up, let me record this part. Start singing.
Get that melody recorded.
And then then I can go home and then edit it, and then I'm like, that was exactly what I needed. And like for instance, right now I have this song on the album called Weight of the Anvil. That's done. That song came to me in like 2 hours. And production, all of it, thankfully, I kind of believe that songs write themselves, but at the same time, this song is going to lead into a follow-up song on the record, and I, for probably 2 months now, have a very strong idea. It's very rough though on how the next song is going to begin. Same key, slowed down, very similar sound to the song. So it's like a part A and part B of the song.
Oh, that's cool. Sure.
I am just at this point still trying to find what that part's going to be. And I'm like, is it even going to exist? Because but it's been 2 months and this whole thing is in my head.
Right.
Well, I think that's, as I'm envious of both of you that you can, my drummer is similar, that you guys can do that in your head and then transpose it to an instrument. I can't do that. Not yet. Something be in my head, I'll lose it. I'll pick up a guitar and there's a random riff. There's a riff. It's not like I'm sitting in my room. Hey, what if I play this, and this? No, I can't write like that. So I have to record everything I do because otherwise it'll just be gone. It doesn't stick in my head.
Sometimes things just come to me out of nowhere. And I don't really know how they were gonna with the previous relationship. I didn't want to spend a whole night at the house and stuff like that. And I was just like, I just want to do a nice and easy dinner and do nothing tonight. I just wanted nice and easy dinner and go home. I was like, nice and easy dinner. That'd be. What if I made a song out of that lyric? And I was like, that's such a cringe lyric. And then next thing you know, it's guy like that.
Yeah.
Then next thing you know, it's guy like that. I wrote the chorus around, we'll do a nice and easy dinner. We can play pretend. We can say it's all right. And then I was like, dang, that was at first a very cringy lyric to me, but I turned it into something that was kind of like
turned it into a bar.
That's right.
Into a bar, yeah,
right.
pretty much. Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like one of my favorite songs I've written is a guitar song, all no vocals, and I wrote like the I don't know how many riffs that would be. The last 30 seconds or last 15 seconds of the ending of the song I wrote first, and then the whole song built around this little part, and then there's 2 minutes I built before this part.
Yeah,
that was kind of weird too. I didn't start with this part; it was way at the end, and then the song built from this one. How this even happen? That's kind of cool too. Those type of things happen. I like those. Yeah, what's that?
To me, again, it kind of falls down to I am starting to genuinely think a lot of the time and believe for the most part at this point. I don't know if this will change. I don't exactly know where I am in this belief, but that maybe I'm not the one writing the music. I think I'm the vessel, and it's writing for me, or it's something that God's sending to me, or something it needs to get out there.
It needs to get out. And I'm gonna turn that around and say, no, that's you, dude. You did that, and you should be proud of the work you did. Well, it was you who did it. Your brain did that. No, a lot of people don't want to feel that way. No, you did it. It's your shit. It's good stuff. It's all good.
Well, I also take
you go the whole God route and everything too, but no, you did it.
Well, I take credit for it too. That's not what I'm not trying to be like a Bible thumping. That's not what I'm saying.
All the money is going somewhere else. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. No,
okay.
Being in a band is very similar to that. When I'm in a 6-member band right now, and when we're all doing the right thing, there's 6 levels of energy coming in and 1 output. It's amazing to see. And when it's all flowing, it's right. You're like, holy shit, how is this working as it is? Sometimes I do get imposter syndrome a lot, even while streaming all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing this right? I'll go watch the stream. Okay, no, I actually did play that well. Okay, it's just in your head, and you did screw that one up too. Okay, you're good there. But yeah, when I play gigs with the band, I try and make sure that I count my mistakes, and I always try and make sure there's less than 5 mistakes that are hearable by the audience. If I make a mistake and no one hears, even the drummer would have to listen very carefully for it, and that doesn't mean mistake. But if I make a big enough mistake that where the audience can hear it, I feel bad. So I do my best to not do 5 mistakes. And then there she is saying, "You rarely hear mistakes." Yeah.
That's getting paid because it's a good compliment for you.
Thanks, Ellie.
I mean, and thanks for the compliment to me too. But sometimes it's just, sometimes that's just how it feels. Sometimes it just feels like I'm the vessel, but it sometimes makes it easier for me because that makes me realize that I don't believe in writer's block. I just don't believe in it, just because it's not your time. It's not your time to write.
Okay, on that, if I can, one real topic on that is, I'll ask you guys. As getting older in life, I recognize little things in life, and one thing I realized, and as a Rocksmith streamer, so I'll be playing Rocksmith every couple days. So I'm playing covers over and over and over. Some days I notice I'm off. My timing, something is just wrong.
Yes.
but how I notice this, I'll be laying in bed, and I think there's a rhythm to the universe. I really do. There's there's the quarks, which are all supposed to be vibrating strings. There's a rhythm to the universe. You're laying in bed at night, and all of a sudden you move your arm, and the same time you move your arm, you'll hear a crack in the house. You're in sync. It happens all the time. Or I'll move my arm, and then the crack will come right after it. Okay, I'm not in sync right now. So I notice that when I'm playing streams, or even when I'm playing music live with the band. If I'm off, there's something off with me today.
Interesting.
Which is weird. It's if you start paying attention to that, you'll hear it. Like you get older, you move like right now. I move my ankle. Well, that key happened the same time. There's a bird outside chirped, or something happened at the exact same time.
For me, I notice it's like it's a worldly thing where I'll think of something completely off cuff, and then the next day, that thing for whatever appears in front of me, or somebody says it, and I'm just like, there's no freaking way that anybody else could have said that. For me, that's the indication.
There's a thing called the Bader-Meinhof effect, that's what that is. Where let's say you buy a new car, and you've never seen that car on the road. You buy that new car, you're seeing that car everywhere now.
Yep.
A great example is what you just said too, which is quite creepy. So the Bader-Meinhof effect is a thing. A song popped in my head the other day. Come on. Wouldn't it be good if to live in your shoes? Grass is always greener over there. Do you guys remember that song?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, I don't think so. That popped in my head out of nowhere. No idea.
I'm too old.
No idea where that song came from. I actually played on stream the other day because it's pretty cool. But the next day on Reddit, there was that line, the exact line. Wouldn't it be good to be in your shoes? I'm like, holy shit, So I recognize that because I thought of this song the next day. Now, is that the universe?
But at the same time, I don't know. It goes deeper for me. Like I'll just out of nowhere. I'll just out of nowhere. Yeah. I wonder what Jake's doing. 5 minutes later, he texts. It's just another one of those things.
Manifestation is just too real, man.
Yeah. So I'll go back to the whole topic was the timing of the world, and sometimes we're in it, and sometimes I don't know how I got to that, but sometimes you're just in that timing and milk it while you have it.
Well, that's why that stemmed from the initial idea where I said sometimes you're a vessel and the song writes for you. Sometimes it is just your time, and sometimes it's not.
No,
you know what I mean.
But remember, you wrote the songs. They came from your brain. It's like the dreams are your brain. It's all you're the one pulling that shit out.
Very, very happy to be writing this stuff, too. Very happy.
Well, that's part of it too. That's one of the things that's kind of cool that we three talk, because we all three have such different styles.
Extremely.
I'm an old school metalhead. Sure. I love Slayer and Death and Speed and stuff like that. And then jazz and what's the music called? Your eyes. What do you call that?
I'm gonna let you bomb on this one.
I don't know.
Figure it out.
Well, somebody called my stuff. Somebody called my band Power Pop. I don't know what that means.
Mine's post-hardcore / or progressive metal.
Okay, I can see that. Progressive metal. But you also have non-metal.
How do you mean?
Right, some of your songs are.
Some of
your songs.
I listen to your playlist. Said, how do you mean?
How do you mean? As in, it's not metal. It's more chill.
Oh yeah, that was.
But then again, chill metal can be
more.
Chill.
I think that was more on the end of the era of just electronic music production for me.
Oh, okay.
I was heavy into dubstep, in EDM, and eventually moved over to kind of what that was on Are You Listening, and wanted to incorporate my voice more. But throughout my entire life, I mainly wanted to be making heavier music, and now I'm at the point where I'm doing it.
Heavy music's more fun.
Oh, it's.
But then again, the music I'm writing right now, recording, is very not metal, or not heavy at all.
For me is this: it's so diverse. Heavy music. If I did want to touch dubstep again, it could allow me to incorporate that straight into it in a creative way. I like jazz, so I put jazz fusion chords in my stuff. I like hip hop, so
you do. Nice.
One of my songs I have rap in it. I like screaming, singing. I like all this stuff. So this genre is so wide and vast.
It's wide, correct.
Experiment.
But that's the music of today too. It's all this stuff.
Subgenres within there, all that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think subgenres started taking over in like the 90s, 80s, 90s, because it was pretty rock and roll. They're pretty siloed. You had rock, R&B, jazz, classical, and then the 80s came along, and you had the hair metal. Then speed metal came along.
What's hair metal?
And then you had all the branches. I'm gonna pull out my wig right now, dude. Start playing some docking for you. I know it's all good. It's all good, y'all.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep using that again.
Okay. Okay.
I was in that chat watching y'all.
I know.
And I'm from California. We don't use y'all too much. I just use it.
You heard me say that, fool. You heard me say
Yeah,
that. And I'm sure you saw somebody else in chat. They were like, "That's just a sin, dog."
Yeah.
I just never liked
the cardinal
word
sin.
y'all and prominent. Is like, no, that's the word.
It
is the word. I say it all the time. I said it my whole life.
What when we say hi, you all?
No,
You know,
right? Exactly.
Hi. What's
Hi.
up? Hey, everybody.
All right,
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
What's popping? What's
going on, y'all?
As Sammy,
What's up, y'all?
As Sammy would say, "What's cracking? What's cracking with you?"
What's cracking,
right?
y'all?
Sammy boy.
Osiris says, "Howdy, y'all."
Exactly. Howdy, y'all. You got tip of the hat for that one.
Say howdy. Howdy. How's it going?
Howdy.
My lady.
Howdy. Aren't you in the South, man? Shouldn't you? Isn't that like a prerequisite? Yeah. You're South-ish.
Yeah, you're gonna have to develop it at some point.
Am I considered South?
Florida is in the South.
Florida is the South
in Atlanta. I mean,
yeah.
So you're gonna have to develop that Southern twang.
I don't know what the California twang is, other than
California,
I can talk like this. I can talk more like this if we want, and do the up talk. And you'll never get a word in edgewise.
It's the crispy C's, crisp,
or
the vocal fry.
Yeah, let's go out to store.
The basic white girl voice.
God, I used to work with people. I used to work with people that talk like that too. I'm like, just stop.
You do be talking like that sometimes in your streets.
It's hilarious. I do it as a meme, and sometimes
it's like Souter water.
Yeah.
No, that's different. That's different. I always think of that as like we started stream off with me bringing out the word right. Everybody says right. It's almost like when you talk with an up talk. I don't know if you've ever done this yourself. If you go to a place and listen to two people talk and listen to the musicality of words and how people speak. Like right now, I'm right now in the third fifth. You're waiting for me to go back to that root to know when to talk. I'm still in my fifth. Yeah. Now if I do up talk,
once you can tell somebody's done with their sentence, they're going.
I'm back down. Exactly. But up talk. I'm gonna keep
hear that period at the end.
You're waiting for me because I'm not giving you the root. I keep doing like this, so you're gonna keep listening to me talk because I'm gonna keep talking, and then I'm done. So
there's like the period right there. That's
exactly. So I've done that. I've gone on just listen to people talk in a restaurant. Listen how the musicality of two people's words their voices go together.
It's definitely different because I remember going to a Vietnamese restaurant with a friend and she was speaking Vietnamese and like the intonation was completely different on how they were ending their sentences. I was like, whoa. That's interesting.
I married Lao. She's from Laos, so her family speaks Lao, and Lao is very similar to that. It's very almost aggressive, kind of like a Cantonese or some Chinese. It's very aggressive speak. It's they're not being aggressive. It just has that feel to it. I think Lao had similar. Yeah, it's very happy speak. Somebody, which means hello. So something like that. I tried to learn some of the language. They
also have
now I'm good.
a lot more moving on their pitch too. English, I feel like we slowly go up and slowly go down, and we kind of. But when you're hearing them speak, it's like whoa.
It fluctuates a little bit more.
It's just interesting. I'm like, wow, what an interesting dialect.
Well, now I think about that. Like, if you think about just how music came about from human voice. Am I correct on that? So you had percussion and human voice, and all the instruments out there today are basically to reproduce the human voice. Which the violin, I think, is the closest.
Why do we like that? I find myself asking this question so often. Who in the S thought that a kick drum and a snare and a hi-hat cymbal, they're just things that are doing noise? Why does it sound good?
Why does it sound good? Yeah.
I get that guitars, singing, and stuff like that, they have specific pitches and stuff, but these are transient noises of just legitimately hitting something. And you can slam a cabinet door shut as your kick drum and then break a window as your snare.
Yeah.
Why does that sound good to us? It's so.
Why does that sound good?
Why
do we want
interesting to me.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats? Why is that? Why is that it?
Yep.
Why does that work? Right. That's a good question. I think Well, that would go back a couple hundred years to the people creating this stuff.
Well, you're not that old. Come on.
What?
Be respectful to yourself.
A few. Okay.
A few.
Hey, I'm from the last
few.
century. I'm from the last century, middle of last century. So yeah, I'm old. It's all good. It's all good. Doesn't matter.
I'm from the last century too, dog. Come on.
Yeah, but the end of it.
Yeah, but I'm from the last century, so it was prominent, dude.
Look. I remember having to get up to change a channel on the TV. Do you guys know what TVs are?
I remember that.
You know, TV.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I
used to
remember
watch UHF.
Okay,
That's all there
having
was.
to be on channel 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yes. Okay, did you have to connect the 2 cables to the antenna of the back of the TV to make the Nintendo work?
The RF when you had to screw
Yeah,
it in?
they had to screw it in.
Yeah. I remember
that's
having
fun.
one of those, but I remember when we had AV, it was the complete ideal course of action. I was like, yo,
yes.
what?
I was just listening to a podcast the other day talk about Y2K, and how that was like one of my big jobs. How I escalated in my career was I became the Y2K expert, and I was the one that fixed all the computers in the company. Do you guys remember Y2K at all?
Y2K was the fear of the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fear of the internet was, or all computers were going to break because of a old dating scheme they had. So all computers, instead of going to 2000, was going to roll back to like 1970, and it was going to break everything, which it didn't break anything. Why am I talking about this? Because how old I am, I remember having to deal with that, and that was a good peak in my curve in my career to get me even making more money as an IT guy.
Prominent either looks really tired, like he's about to laugh, or he's super high. He's like,
I know, super.
No, I was just like sitting there trying not to laugh. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude, remember that. It's all good. Doesn't matter.
man, 90s kid. I gotta tell you, it was sick. Being a 90s kid.
What was sick about 90s? What was 90s?
Man, all the TV advertisements hit differently. The cartoons hit differently. The toys hit differently.
Agreed.
The Game Boy Color, when that first had come out, then the Game Boy Advance. Then eventually you got the Game Boy Advance SP with a backlit screen and
the
rechargeable
SP was
battery.
so lit, bro. Oh my gosh.
The Nintendo 64. Brother.
Yeah, I did have a 64. I finished Ocarina of Time. I finished Mario Brothers, but that was about it.
Yes. Man, there was something that hit different. Pizza Hut tasted better. Like the recipe was different. I swear. KFC used to taste better.
No, it was everything was different.
Everything was so less saturated.
Yes.
Everything feels.
Do you guys remember
homogenized?
Subway used to
homogenized.
Homogenized would be the right word. Subway used to cut their sandwiches where it would be a V on top. You guys remember that?
I do kind of remember that. What the?
So they'd make it a V and they'd pull it off, put it all in there, and it'd sit right back. And that was the way to go. That was the best way to make a sandwich. But now they stopped doing that.
Dang.
Every time I go to my Subway, I'm like,
Shack, Circuit City. Circuit City slap, dude.
The free batteries from Radio Shack once a month. You go to get your 9-volt.
I don't remember that,
like a
but
free little
9-volt,
card.
free 9-volt would be.
Yeah, you needed free 9-volts back
ideal.
then. I was looking at my talking points. Right? Oh, being old is just something I was talking about. We were talking about that as talking about how the hands don't work, can't go as fast anymore. That really sucks getting older.
You were
shredding
on guitar the other night. Come on.
I can do some, but I'm sloppy. Hey,
anti-perfectionist, baby. Let's go. That's what I thought.
When I'm doing Rocksmith, no one cares. No one cares. People are looking at the hit and miss. But I don't really care about that.
That'll be a good question to ask. What do you see in someone like my generation? What's the difference? Like watching me play, watching my personality, prominence personality, and how we produce the sound that we're doing. What do you see in that? Like what's your
well, first off, it's completely different than I'm gonna go back to the 90s. Let's go back that old. Let's go 80s, 90s. This was not even thought of. To sit somebody watch me write music in their own room, never even thought of it. When I was doing it back then, it was we all get together, we all write our songs, we all go in the basement and smoke pot all night, then we write songs all night. One guy will come in with a riff and we'll write all songs. So it's new for me to watch somebody do this, which is kind of cool. Another reason that I came to Twitch, when I first came here, I saw somebody writing music. Is this you can actually write music in front of people? Or do you guys know Scene of Action? I think I've talked about him before. I think he's written 7 full albums on Twitch. He's been around a long time.
Oh man,
full albums, all by himself. He does a great streams too. He does amazing streams. He'll play his own stuff live on stream.
I'd like to.
And I started watching him
at some point too.
Oh
yeah, I totally agree. Play the music. Go back to we were talking about. I'm writing a riff and I write this one solo and play this one solo for the last time ever. No, start doing it live. We want to see you play the songs too. We want to see those songs. You just need a good hour or so to do it, right? You need about an hour's worth of material because you got to keep people interested. That's my issue.
Yep. 100%.
When I do nothing streams, if I practice new nothing songs, that's usually a good 4-hour set, and I'll go through the set twice. So I can play original songs, do it again, just get to all the set. We have somewhere around 20 songs now, so sometimes our sets take forever. I think we got a 45-minute set coming up, so it's not that long of a set, so we should be fine. But I actually did a practice right before I joined here. I did a practice, went picked up the kid, came back, and then did this. And it was cool. The practice was from my house. They're all hour and a half away, and I sit in my house and do it, which is really cool to do.
Huge dub.
But compared to you two, what I get from it is inspiration. When I watch you guys play, be creative on stream, and continuously to. I think I had a note here on this about something about streaming and. I'm trying to find it here. Writing on stream is a different process, also. Do you guys happen to write your songs off stream and then come write them on?
Most of the time, it's off stream. There's one song on the record that has been written on stream, and people really liked the beginning. So, that's the one I mentioned earlier that's kind of done with the production stage, and I'm in the mixing part of it, so it'll be interesting. Cool. But
I want to try and do that too. But most of the time I write them off stream.
Sometimes I at least write the majority of the idea off stream, and then if I need a specific part, I will write on stream. So most of the time it's off stream. Every now and again, I'm writing.
And in today's world, you got people coming in, like Raven, right? I was watching some of his streams, and he was doing some at Raven Seamus. He was doing some. And I sent him a riff. He goes, I got a riff. It was like 4 a.m. I'm buzzed. I got a riff for you. So here's a riff. And he's all playing with that riff, which is kind of cool. So that got me inspired to do something else too. So that's one of the benefits I see of watching streamers like yourself. And there's others out there too. But also it helps me get a glimpse into music that I don't pay attention to. Like I don't pay much to jazz. And I got to do more in jazz because my kid's into jazz. So he had to write a bass solo for his jazz audition, and I'm like, okay, we'll try this. So I listen back, and I'm like, I'm playing a rock. I'm not playing a jazz solo. I'm playing a rock solo. There is a difference, very subtle difference, but a difference. Mostly it's key. Mostly it's what notes you're playing. Instead of playing it perfect, play one flat or play a sharp over here. Do something a little off. And his was all B flat pentatonic. I'm like, well, I can do anything. That's simple. Let's have fun with that, right? That's easy.
Right.
But then he wrote one, so I got to get him practicing it. Dude, please, and they're practicing it now. So that's one of the benefits I see about watching you all is it gives me inspiration. A lot of it. Good. Now, is it music I would go out and listen to all the time? No, because I know you two, I'd listen to it. Okay, now which actually I think that's also something helps me too. Is I wouldn't normally listen to this type of music, but now that I know the person making, I'm watching it, I'm gonna go listen to it more. Okay, now it's becoming more. I like it more than I would if I didn't know you. It's palatable, and then all of a sudden it becomes, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. One of the negatives of today's radio is I listen. I think I talked earlier, satellite radio, and I listen to my 3 channels, and it's all the same music.
Radio
on Twitch, I get
so bad though. No offense.
And it's a satellite radio. So satellite radio, I get to listen to. Here's my 80s station, my 90s station, my hair metal station. I get specific stations. I'm good, but I'm not expanding. Come to you guys, I start expanding. What is this here?
Really?
Like guys, your screams in the songs, they're not as typical as I would hear, but they fit. Right? I wouldn't hear singing.
It blends so well with like the rest of his songs.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
Like just out there,
I wouldn't,
just him screaming.
Exactly. I wouldn't have thought of it, but that actually fits good right there. That type of stuff. I'm learning stuff, and then watching prominent. You need to put like camera down on your keys so I can see the chords. I can't hear the chords.
He wants to see your pants grab, dog.
Exactly. I want to see what's going on. I was waiting for it to come through. No, it's all good.
Throw one in there.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Well, probably what's on your mind? What's on your mind? We've been kind of hogging the conversation. I feel bad.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. No, I was just gonna say that about your comment when you said about like the whole like piano like cam thing. I do think about that often because like the way I got it like set up right now, it's like you can see a little bit of the keys, but it's like I can only do so much, or you can't really see everything,
I'd like a second camera.
Or like
So
that,
like a desk camera.
or like that one guy who
I could
does.
use, like, get like a desk cam, or just do like get a bigger camera that can actually get more resolution out of, so y'all can see more.
Well, I'm assuming you're using
Because like
MIDI.
pulling this out, you can like see the whole camera, or you would
Yeah.
be able to see it, but it's hard to get like a good angle without cutting off other stuff.
But I say if you're using MIDI, you could use like probably put an external a visual camera on your screen, and it'll trigger like that one dude who does stream. I think he does.
Oh,
Stream,
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking.
He's playing a
about.
piano, and you can see the notes come to the piano. So he's got like whatever software he's got, he can see the notes he's playing, which is hella cool.
Yeah.
How these guys do it live.
And there is actually a software like that in FL Studio, but I tried to use it. It just wasn't syncing with the MIDI for some reason.
That's kind of what I think. Yeah, you got to make sure it all works, right? All the stuff we do to make our streams look good. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So much
music streams, such a struggle.
So much that goes into it.
Correct. So much that goes into it. Correct.
But a
And how
game,
much
you can just
money
pull
we've
the game
invested.
up, capture it, you're good to go.
And you're good to go. Yes. No. I got second camera sitting right here. I got two. These are Mevo cameras. They're Wi-Fi cameras. So when I stream the band, like I'm gonna stream them in Reno, I'll be using two of these. They mount anywhere and they just go through the phone, which is hella cool.
That's
See, I
actually
need
really
to get
nice.
some of those for like when I do my stream gigs and all that stuff.
I watched a couple of your gigs. It was good stuff. The audio was a little off. If I watch it again, I'll let you know.
Audio is just like the
Peaking.
main issue I have. Just like
It's a
I
pain
think
in the
I
ass.
might need to get like a separate mic or something like that, but I'm not completely sure.
You need
Pain
something
in the
that
ass,
can
yeah.
really pick up high gain, or like
exactly.
like really loud stuff.
Thankfully, when I
that way
play
it's not like clipping a bunch and everything.
when we play one gig in San Jose, I go off the board. I got these aux, give me aux out the board, and it goes right into OBS. So I'm using coming off the board into OBS, and then the camera's just cameras. But right now I'm using both of these as the audio, and you can mix the audio into your phone and stream from your phone. So if I stream on Saturday, that's what's going to happen. It's pretty cool.
Nice thing,
Yeah, so
nice thing
what we-
for me, my webcam is just the phone, so I could use that Wi-Fi too.
Oh, okay. And how are you doing your distorted background? Is that
That's just
how
a
you getting
built-in
the
app, or built-in with the app. Elgato.
with the app on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, the Elgato. Okay,
Yep.
okay, that's cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I know. I bought all this stuff before I lost my job, so I, invest before you lose your job, and then don't buy anything else, and have fun with what you got.
Be
True.
yeah, and
Do what you
you'll be
got.
surprised with how far you can get by not spending money too.
Oh, yeah,
a
totally.
lot of streamers just jump into it and just want to spend, but oftentimes new gear can cause new issues. For me,
Yes.
True.
one of my goals is to get a new computer. The main thing with that
Same.
is what I'm using as my second monitor is my laptop, and that's from what I stream. But,
Same.
So
Yeah.
that means I have to get a new computer. I have to get a second monitor. I have to buy a second monitor stand so I can stack the things. It's a whole thing. So like, whenever you buy new things for your setup and your stream, you do have to consider that it's going to take a hit somewhere else too. Like, it's not
Correct.
just an easy, quick setup. Like, a second camera requires a second USB port, probably second phone, and figure out how to set it up to the side. I can do it. I'll do it eventually. But what's nice is like not having it all straight out of the gate, because people see
That's a lot
stream
to throw in.
improvements.
It's a lot to learn.
People see
Correct.
stream
Improvement,
improvements
correct.
over time too. That's the,
Instead of
Well,
just
I
like
think-
all at once, and it's just like, oh,
I think I'm I think I'm a great example of that. Is like it took me 2 years to hit that start streaming button. 2 years. I was
Mhm.
setting up for 2 years, setting up my room, not this room, my old house, setting up the room, getting all working,
Yeah.
buying cameras, testing every 2 years for that button. Once I hit the button, all that shit I set up didn't mean anything.
1,000%,
People
dude.
sometimes they don't pay something. Yeah, I get people come in, hey, great looking stream. Okay, good. Yeah, but what about the content? How's the content?
Yep.
Eyes, you tend to sit there. You have the zoom in filters for your face. You have all this stuff where you're bringing them closer to you. Where here I am standing back more. I'm moving away from the camera. That could be bad. So and I can have multiple cameras set up and have my foot switch doing all this work. Does it really matter? Sometimes people just want to. A good example: play a game. It's a small camera in the corner. That's all they
Or
do. They want to see your face. That's all.
Look at someone like Moist Critical. His YouTube blew up, and he just looks at what looks to be a cell phone camera and has his
It's
not even an AirPod
white
in it.
teeth.
So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
to me, a lot of it
But
speaks about consistency and connection with people, and
Correct.
that's
But I'm gonna say the other side of the coin is I very much enjoy the fun of setting all this shit up.
That's true.
Oh,
You know, you guys you're talking this. I have 3 computers in front of me when I stream. Right now, I'm just using one, but usually when I stream, I have 3 of them doing all this work. Plus, I actually have 4.
That was actually something that was
I have a
also
laptop.
kind of brought up to me, and something that made me think maybe I wouldn't need to buy a second monitor for a while, because I could use the Mac Studio and get a capture card and capture everything, use my laptop as my OBS laptop, and
Exactly.
and save tons of CPU
And
to do everything.
and offload Logic somewhere else.
Because I'm not
I'm
not going to get rid of the laptop. I oftentimes just keep all my old gear for the most part.
It's one of the benefits of being in IT. I have so many laptops. Many laptops.
Like before we
benefits.
get into another question or topic of conversation,
Sure.
we did just
It's getting 2 hours
hit
in.
over the 2-hour mark, which we can keep going. But I also do want to open the chat for questions for the guests,
Of course.
for Prominent or for me. So chat, feel free to ask any questions, and we'll get to it. And Prominent, Matt, either of you guys can start talking another topic while we wait, just in case nobody has questions.
I'm just looking over my list here. One thing I wanted to ask was, because this is something I wonder about myself. Recording vocals, standing versus sitting. What's your thoughts?
I sit. Because
You sit.
my thing's hooked up here. I think it's
Well-
I think objectively it's better to stand though. And if I were able to get a stand, I'm sure one day I'll get a standing setup and I'll probably be standing. But a lot of the times
That's my thought. Yeah.
That's how
and
it
have the
usually
mic.
is for me,
I
too.
try to have it below me or like I don't know, like kind of above me too, so I can open.
Yeah, that's the point of standing. Because I noticed you do stream, you record while sitting. Of course, again, we're on a stream. We're doing 2 things at once, almost 3 or 4 things at once.
Mhm.
We're trying to write a song, record a song, plus be on stream, plus entertain. So there's a fine line. Yeah, I'll probably, when I do my singing, I'll probably stand up. I actually have like this little. My sister bought me a black like portable vocal booth. Basically, it's a big
Those are. I think Toxic
uh,
has one of those. Toxic showed me he has like 3 walls that are like vocal booths that are portable. You can set up and run.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's
Yeah, so
amazing.
set that up in here. It helps your vocals because you want that crispness. My room is a little echoey.
Alternatively,
I'm
you
looking
can
at
just get a vocal box that goes around.
correct.
your
Yeah, to go right
microphone, too.
around.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. And does it matter? I mean, my singer is recording the way we record our band right now. We all record at our house and then send our individual parts to a mix to our producer. So he's recording. I don't even know what the singer is doing in his house, and he's not even high-end engineering. He's good at writing, but he's not good at the other side of things.
Yeah. Yep.
But we're all recording at home, and it sounds good. So that's all that matters. It sounds good.
And that's interesting how things have advanced too. This is a complete subject change, so you guys can just hit the X
It's
factor
all good.
on this. But how much music collaborations have changed. Like you used to have to be in the same state or in the same town. Now I can.
We're in the same room. Yeah.
If Prominent and I want to collab on a song, he has a pretty
We
good
can
mic,
just
so
that
he
easily,
can
you
get,
know.
and we just send each other parts through Discord or through
Yeah.
the internet and
Love it.
put it in there, and I know Matt, you and I have been talking about doing something together. I don't know if you're still
Yeah,
serious
we'll,
about
we'll,
it.
we'll get something. Yeah, no, of course we will. We'll get something. Yeah, I
But
got no problem. I'd love to
we're
do that.
Complete opposite sides of the country now, but it's
Yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
still
here,
like
I'm-
completely
easily
possible.
do it.
You know?
I got one roadblock, but I'm looking at with Rocksmith to be able to do 2-player Rocksmith, and you can be so as long as they're on the west side of whatever that Mississippi, they're close enough to me. I can now do 2-player Rocksmith through my one computer. So you're at your house, I'm at my house, and you can. So their signal's coming to me. I can do that now, and I got one problem to get over, and then once I get that, I'm gonna have people start doing that, and so that's
Oh, that'd be
amazing right
interesting.
there.
kind of sick.
And that's
Like a
tough to do
community
because
night
it has
type
to
thing.
be in. Yeah,
That'd be
but,
interesting.
no, but you have to be a streamer because these people have to have Rocksmith or have skill on Rocksmith to do this.
I guess I was thinking like it's a community thing with people who do play Rocksmith.
Correct,
Is
correct,
more
correct.
what I was thinking, but yeah, it's not so much a community.
And I could
night thing.
we can do community jam too. The timing would be a little off, but it's possible.
But what I thought,
When-
I thought you and I were planning to write something together.
Oh, we can do that too. Correct, we can do that too. I'm just going into. We don't need to be in the same room anymore. I can jam with other people. My band is 75 miles away, and I'm jamming with them in real time. That's just amazing to do.
How would our styles?
Jamulus.
How would our styles? I remember that. How would our styles work together? That's the interesting part.
That's what I want to know too.
Do you?
I would just
do
go with, what do you
foresee
got?
Something?
No, What do you got? If you got a part written, give it to me. I'll put my flair on it. Or
I know you sing.
hey,
too.
I'm trying to get better at singing. I'm actually thinking about doing karaoke streams. We'll see how that goes. To get my voice back up.
That's how I
and do
met
something.
Prominent, and I am not into karaoke. For whatever reason, I clicked on a stream.
Either am I.
For whatever reason, I clicked on a stream. I was like, man.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I decided to do a karaoke stream that day.
I was like, I do not like karaoke, but I'll check out this homie here. And then I checked it out, and then just chatting, and then next thing you know, it's like, here we are.
My ex was,
I know, right? Look how far we've gotten now, just because of that.
Yeah, you guys are buds and stuff. You're having a podcast because of karaoke. My ex was way into karaoke
together and everything.
I never did it.
People got to find somebody. Why I'm not into karaoke, and it just doesn't feel real to me. I'm sorry. It just feels.
No, it's drunken. It's drunken 20-year-olds. Having fun in a bar.
Exactly.
But you see a lot of all kinds of people doing it on stream as well.
Yeah.
And trying to just pass it as something that it's really.
But
not
I guess for me, when I was mentioning karaoke, it wasn't toward Twitch streamers. It's just like karaoke. Like,
Okay, well, let me ask a question. There's one I watch as a person who actually lives kind of near me, and they're in a band and play shows. I'm gonna go try and see them. But she's singing cover songs. Is that karaoke? Singing cover? Or is karaoke? Because I'm listening to a MIDI track and reading lyrics, or if I'm playing to the actual song and singing, is that a cover or is that karaoke? Where's the line?
Is she?
I would say that karaoke is more along the lines of like just playing the backing track and just singing along with it while reading the lyrics. But playing like in a cover band, usually cover bands they play like in a different way, so it's more like an arrangement instead of a cover.
Is she playing to a backing? Is she just singing on top of a backing?
She's just singing on top of the
just without lyrics. It's karaoke without lyrics, more or less.
We don't see the lyrics on screen, but I'm pretty sure she's looking at something.
If she's looking at something and then singing, that counts as karaoke right there. If there's like nothing else like backing her up or anything like that.
Sure. It's a fine
playing
line.
Off like the backing track that's showing the lyrics as well. You know what I mean?
That's a tough one for me.
But she's also really good at
YouTube video.
Off the top.
But she's also good at what she does.
My immediate answer is it's just karaoke, just without lyrics. You just memorize lyrics. But I mean, at the same time, it does feel a little different.
A little different. A little different than the karaoke. I don't even know how to sing.
It's a step above karaoke. I'll say that.
Yeah. And I think she's in a cover band too, so she's just doing it for herself. But she's pretty good at what she does. And you see a lot of that on Twitch. Got a lot of that.
What, karaoke?
Girls doing karaoke.
Yeah,
yes.
A lot of people doing karaoke.
Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of viewers. Yes.
A lot of DJs on Twitch. A lot of.
My shirt's not low enough, but okay.
Yeah.
If they're good, vocal cover. If they're not, karaoke. Okay, that makes sense to me. If they're good, it's a vocal cover. Yes. Otherwise, they're drunk in the bar.
Dude, I should make a subathon goal, like 200 subs. I'll do a karaoke stream.
Karaoke? That's actually not bad.
Because I'm not a.
It's not
100
bad.
Subs. Wear something other than a black shirt. Like
exactly.
Yeah, I could do that. It's gonna force me. It's going to force me to go out and buy a shirt. Actually, is what it is.
Buy a shirt,
right?
And you could easily drop a green screen behind you and have a cool effects too. You got enough room back there.
Yeah, I'd like to do a green screen. I've been told by somebody that that's actually a more comfortable environment, that it's what it is. But I think a green screen would be kind of fun.
The problem with green screens is you're always what goes on the screen. What goes behind me? That's my
probably put a dairy farm behind me or something.
A dairy farm.
You have to shuffle it, man. It has to be different.
So then you have to. Then you have to do Dojo Cat with I'm a cow.
Oh yeah.
I'm a cow. Yeah, do that song then.
Dude.
Just get a green sheet. I have a green sheet, just works just fine. I also have green screens, they work also.
And just some sort of scaffolding
light
of some sort, like
yeah.
I figured I could.
And then you just need a light on it. You need a light on your
ring light. No ring lights probably. Well, I probably
need
a
light.
second.
You need a light. You need a light behind you, lighting it by itself.
I mean, it's definitely going to help for emote creation because it cuts out a lot better. Yeah. Some of my animated emotes and stuff. They
After Effects is pretty good. After Effects does some pretty good cutting out there.
I use CapCut. CapCut automatically cuts it. That's an AI tool.
True.
That's an AI tool. I don't like AI, but
It is.
that's a good tool. I will say that.
I just had to. I think it was like 50 pictures from my kid's school, and I mistakenly used a green screen. Didn't. I'm not gonna use it next time. I had to use the AI to cut out all the kids of this green screen.
Jeez.
And then I had him sitting on a drum stool, and the drum stool I didn't pay attention to it, so it's all green too because it was reflecting the green from the floor. So I had to cut the stool out, put a new stool in. So I sent all these people paid for these pictures, and then even know how much that stool is not real. The bottom of that base is not real.
That stool is not real. That's not real back there.
That's not real.
That's
back
made
there,
of cardboard.
I love Photoshop, but man, I hate Adobe, man. They switched to the payment plan thing. I'm not at all about it. I can't.
Yeah, I stopped using that after that.
My story on that is I worked at Adobe when that happened, and the CIO, I used to support the CIO, the big guy, and he went to Australia and got railed on. There's videos of it too. They're like, well, Creative Cloud's way to go. Well, I want to buy the package. Creative Cloud's way to go. He got railed. He came back. No one wanted to talk to him. He was all running around pissed. It was so fun.
Really? So even a lot of the people on the inside didn't like the idea.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
That's so.
But
good
it's making
to
a
know.
shit ton of money. But it's still making. They're making.
They're
shit ton
not
of
getting
money.
my money. No.
Thankfully, I have a friend there. I get it for free right now because I still have a friend there. I get lucky with that.
That's so sick, dude.
That's one of the benefits of working there. I had the full suite.
I mean,
everything I wanted.
I know some people at Apple still, and they barely ever buy computers, and you get a 25% discount on computers as an employee. And I sometimes want to reach out, but I'm like, I never reach out to them to check in on them to see what's up. So it would be so scummy.
Hey, by the way,
right? They're just gonna be looking at you like he just hit us up.
Scummy for me to be like, hey man, you still work at Apple, right? Can I get that 25% discount? Like, it just wouldn't.
Instead of a booty call, it's a PC call.
Dude,
can you hook me up there? I'm coming on over.
But I mean, I legitimately am one of the people who will very comfortably buy off of eBay used or refurbished, because my argument to it is it's going to be used anyway. It's legitimately because I'm going to use it and it's going to end up used. So then if it's used already and it's kind of scratched up, it makes me not so worried about babying what I have, trying to take care of it unnecessarily meticulously. It's just okay, it's kind of scratched up. I can just leave it on the desk uncovered.
It's already scratched up. Who cares? Yeah.
So, and I got it for $2,000 cheaper. It's
exactly. Yeah.
So,
as long as you don't use their hard drive, swap out the hard drive.
What do you mean?
Don't trust anybody else's hard drive.
Really?
You don't know what's on that hard drive. Yeah.
Some hard drives can be so messed up you won't even realize what's on there.
You mean like spyware type stuff?
Yes. Or the boot sector is infected and they're watching you. Yeah, it could happen. Just get rid of the hard drive, put your own new hard drive in.
Really? Okay, so then I shouldn't buy a Mac on eBay then.
Oh, you could buy the Mac, just get rid of the hard drive and put a new hard drive in.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just don't try to use it before replacing the hard drive.
I'll just buy refurbished off Apple.
Just in case.
Well, that was one of the reasons.
Whichever.
That was one of the reasons I stopped doing feedback streams. That was one of the big reasons. Is the privacy aspect. People can mask YouTube links that just back end spyware on your computer, just like that. Just through clicking a link, doxing type stuff, or is that DDoS? DDoS attack is what it's called, I think.
You can get DDoS easily, yes, with follow me links or something like that. Yeah, you got to be careful.
So a lot of people didn't like the fact that I blocked links in chat. Eventually, I just more recently enabled it for, I think, subs. For
just subs
VIPs and
VIPs,
stuff, people who are paying, or VIPs, and it just because you just don't know. Even with subs, sometimes you don't know. All due respect.
All due respect. No, we don't know. I don't know anybody out there. I've never seen these people's faces.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You don't see who these people are, where they're from, what they do. And all of a sudden, you find out this one chatter's been in your chat for all this time. Wait a minute, you're a 15-year-old girl? Okay, this changes everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to change the way I talk. I'm going to change the way I do things.
It does kind of change your entire content. It would really kind of make you re-question the pants grab command, or just kind of stuff like that. It'd be like, this doesn't feel. Yeah.
That's one of my negatives about as I'm streaming more in a day now is I can't play, even though it's nighttime somewhere, I can't play a lot of these videos I used to. My in between stuff is usually a little racy, sexy, whatever. I'm like, can I play this right now? It's this is this
Oh,
time where
yeah.
15-year-olds on here.
Yeah.
Can I play this one video? I'm not. It's not TOS. It's TOS, of course, but it's like
It is. It's
it appropriate?
It's near a line. It's like
Yes, near a line.
approaching a line, more or less.
But the other side of the coin is what we are all doing here. Maybe we can start wrapping this up. Would be I'll go back to my early days. I grew up watching UHF, watching these people put on whatever show they wanted to put on. Local access. I've been on local access TV. I've produced local access TV. That's what this is. It's local access TV that anybody can have access to, and we can do whatever we want within whatever terms of service of the platform we're on.
Or set of
the set guideline. Yeah. So I want to be able to do whatever I want to do within the guidelines. So I should not have to. My stream is 18 plus. I should be able to do whatever I want in 18 plus stream.
Yeah.
But we still have to find
More
that
or less.
again within TOS. I want to be able to. Talking about earlier about some streamers how they get so big. I'm like, okay, I see why you're big because you're feeding into the people who are watching you as opposed to me trying to feed to the chat. The chat's feeding. I don't know how to put it. All right, Casey. Thank you for being here.
Good night, me.
I don't know. That was just a weird a thought that I had just about what to do on stream and what I want to do versus what we can do in this platform we have access to. We're on this big ICS it's a huge building with a small door. You come in the door, you see all the famous people first, then there's these massive hallways filled with buskers all down the line. And I'm way down at the end. Who's going to find my door way down there? Well, maybe a lot of streamers that get seen, they're the ones causing problems. They're the ones being over dramatic or watching whatever to get, because drama is, reaction and drama is
the
today.
downfall of the internet.
And that's where everything is. That's what everything is.
Downfall of culture too. It's just
the us versus them. Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's so clickbait material, like somebody pulling public pranks that are ridiculous, and then it's just
stupid. And then there's us Twitchers out here who are bonding with each other. Just us three here
on a genuine level.
On a genuine level.
To me, it's a slower roll, but it's a more important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I mean like roll like the snowball's rolling. Like we're building good foundation that's going to last versus some shot content, something that's just dumb.
We're taking the marathon, but they're taking the sprint,
Yeah.
And even though they're taking the sprint and they're going to hit their finish line faster, it's not going to really do anything for them. But for us, hitting that finish line is going to mean so much more.
In the short term, it might give them something. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Sadly. I mean, I've met a lot of cool people on Twitch so far. It's surprisingly, and also you get to watch it for like, hey, no, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay, I figured out who you were. Back to the whole give them 100% respect. Okay, you're slowly taken away. Okay, I don't need to watch you anymore. You're good.
Yeah.
That's happened a couple times in my stream. A couple people, I'm like, why? What? Okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah, why are you acting like a weird fool right now? Well, I suppose we wrap this up, innit?
You guys are awesome. You guys
I guess so, y'all.
I want you, y'all. I want you back, though. I want you back for another episode.
Definitely.
Sure.
Definitely, man.
You need to find a partner out there who can create an anti-perfectionist group here on Twitch. I think you have to be a partner to do so.
Yeah,
like you'll see people have like when my Matt's mind is always in my chat. He's in the hot doggers. Yeah. But you got to be a partner.
Whichever one of us gets partnered
It's interesting.
Eyes,
yeah.
we got to make a team.
It's gonna be eyes. He's growing way too fast.
You think so?
Yeah.
He definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
You're growing. You got a good growth weight right now.
Bro, I was ahead of you when we started. Now look at you. You're like way ahead of me now.
But
just keep doing. All of us keep doing what we're doing. That's
exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to believe great things are coming and good things are coming. But But I'm just gonna be patient. Just be patient and keep building. Be patient and understand that you can't take the highs too high and the lows too low. And I've been through them so many times that I'm kind of impervious to it at some point now. And
it's just kind of how our lifestyle is, Like it's not going to be as consistent as we want it to be, especially at this. Especially at where we're at right now.
I just wish that it weren't made out to be like it's some easy thing. And they always say it's a very difficult thing, but it never translates. And that's part of the why the reason why this podcast exists is to help other creators like Matt, to help other creators like Prominent, and to help listeners understand that, man, they were going through the same exact, even just trying to stay motivated, those kind of struggles. And everybody has their own methods and ideas on how to get through that. And it just gives everybody an opportunity to try something new.
Correct.
To get through that.
And to ask questions of us. We're up here doing our thing. And I mean, I have AMA in my keywords all the time. You know, whatever you got, ask me something. I've been around. I've seen some things.
Yep.
You know, go back to we would have a highs and lows. Like I said, Smash Mouth. I was, tape handed to a producer that could have gotten me famous. I wouldn't be here talking. I'd be somewhere else right now. I wouldn't have a kitchen in that room. My life would be different. Or I was working at a company and my boss and a lot of people went to Netflix right before IPO. He didn't pull me. So if I was at that, I probably wouldn't be here either, because I would have got Netflix IPO. Hello, all my friends have multiple homes now. These people I used to work with, and I wasn't pulled. So you got these really close to things, and you can't let that get you down either. You got to try it again, like the song says. When your chance comes, don't blow it, and be ready for it. Be ready for it, and the only way you can do that is do what you're doing and continue doing what you're doing. And that one day, that person, like I'm playing in my band, I'm going to Reno. If there's 2 people there, I'm still going to give 100%. Because one of those people could be the person I'm trying to impress. The other people are going to come up, hey, you guys are good. They're going to do a record deal? Holy shit, there's 2 of you, and one's that guy. Most of the time, it's not going to happen, but we do what we do to be prepared for that moment.
Yep.
And that's all we try and do. Maybe you'll get a whale come in your stream and, dude, I really like what you're doing. Here's 100 subs, and that could help you continue your way.
I've had that too. I've had people like Purple Milk. She just came in out of nowhere, subbed and gifted like 5 subs one day, and then a couple more the other day. And this is like a couple months ago, and it was just at a low point in my stream for the most part.
You needed it.
Then Yoltsin
more
recently.
Same thing that
Yoltsin came
with,
in and was like gifting and.
Yeah, it was like Yoltsin.
Nathan.
Even at one point, Alps too.
Alps. Oh yeah.
Alps. We're not begging for it, but when it comes, man, that is such.
We're so
vibe.
grateful,
So grateful for it. Correct.
And
are you seriously?
And many times, more times, probably 2 or 3 times at this point, it's been on days where I was like, I need to not cancel stream. I don't want to do this right now. I do not want to do this. But I went live anyway, and I'm not in a good mood. But then chat just starts talking on some bullshit that makes me laugh, brings out my personality, and then next thing you know, someone's gifting subs, and it's just like, damn, dude, I'm so glad that I'm staying consistent. That's the main thing I can communicate to people. Stay consistent, stay disciplined, and be as non-emotional as you possibly can, because it is a long ride. It is a long career, and it takes patience and discipline. And so
we wouldn't
much
do it if it wasn't fun. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't fun. There's a fun level to this.
Yes.
And for me, like I said, it's the techie and the streaming and get everything working and then having that fun. And then people come in and, there's that whole thing of like, you can't make this shit up. When you have a stream like that, you're like, oh my God, that's what just happened? How did that happen?
Yep.
And I would, a lot of times, first year or two, I would make memes out of them or little alerts or something like that. It's just this happened. I can't believe this happened. Somebody brought that. Very cool to happen.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I remember one time Figure was like, dude, you should go do a kickflip in your house. I was like, sure, why not? Frick, why not?
Sure.
Why not? And then next thing you know, I come back to the chair and the like 1,100 bit donation. I was like,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Well,
are you out of
okay.
your mind for a kickflip?
All right.
Thanks, dog.
Well, there's also the monkey will dance for you. Yes, I'm here to dance. There's also that's part of it too.
But what feels good to me is I don't intentionally put out gimmicks to try and fish people in on stream. I have the surprise box. I have bit sounds for like higher donations of bits and stuff like that, and it's part of my humor and things that I think are funny and entertaining, and it seems to hopefully translate well to other people because it's just
seems so.
It's just me being
your alerts, your audio alerts and your audio stuff. I'm envious of that. I try and do videos and the point stuff. I did a whole bunch of stuff like that. People don't do that. They want those audio stuff. It's just something quicker. I don't know what it is about that. People tend to like those better.
It's a lot more engaging, in my opinion.
It is more engaging, yeah. Something about that. I'm using that Tangia now. That Tangia text to speech AI. I have that in mind.
I hate the fact that it's AI, but it is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Sonic. The Sonic voice, the Burger King foot lettuce, Master Chief from Halo, Hank Hill from King of the... It's so funny, dude.
And when I trained it to my, I haven't done a stream like this in a long time, but I have an alter ego, Tom, and this is Tom. How's it going? Tom's a kind of a cool guy. He did porn back in the 70s, Tom. And I had a wig and everything. I come out in this. I wish I can do it more because I wish I can talk more slowly like this, try and be more cool. But
so
I can't
you have that in a channel point redemption, or is it a bit redemption?
So it's channel point. I have no bit redemptions. No one's gonna pay for my shit. Just do channels for now, and if people pay for the bit, they'll pay for it. But you record your voice. So you had to read this whole script. So I did the whole script like, hey, this is reading like this, the whole script, so that it talks back. So you can speak it any way you want, which is kind of cool. So it's not me talking back. It's Tom
Dang it, dude. There are so many things. I'm so anti-AI for the most part, and there are so many things about it that are just so tempting because I would make the most ridiculous voices.
You can't get away from it. Start embracing. We can't get away from it.
It just depends on how it's used. I'll just say that I'm not gonna use AI to get a vocalist. I'm gonna pay a vocalist. I'm not gonna use AI for art. I'd rather pay an artist. That's just how I personally feel, and I don't like how it's taken creative roles before it's taken job roles.
There's a YouTuber out there right now. I'm probably not giving a name. Shadiversity, why not? Shadiversity, this dude who's claiming he is a high class artist because he knows how to write prompts. He's calling himself an artist, and people are complaining like, "Dude, you're not an artist.
No.
You're not an artist just because you can write bull." Nice. But I would take this art in and I would tweak it and put it back in. Well, maybe you're doing like everybody else. You're taking the thing and tweaking it to fit, but you're not fully an artist. I don't know, to a degree. I don't know. It's a fine line.
Yeah,
but I'll use it for the text to speech and.
But that was
AI,
one of one of the things that was asked on the last podcast. That was kind of a controversial point. Was AI, and someone brought up the point of. How is playing a virtual instrument like the drums, how does that make you a musician versus using AI to write drums for you? And it was maybe it wasn't asked that directly. Like, it was between our guests and comments, and it was like something I put together in a point where I was saying, if you're writing drums virtually and you know what you're doing, yes, you are a musician. If you're using AI to do it, no, you're absolutely not, because you are relying on something to create. You are not creating.
Correct.
Yeah, because sitting there actually playing the drums, even though they're virtual, you're still playing them yourself. You're inputting the notes yourself and using the drums and all that stuff. But just using AI just to throw something in there without you doing anything else, I can understand where you're coming from, Eyes.
Yeah.
Well, let me throw this at you. What about a DJ?
Exactly, harm-free. Exactly, harm-free. You're auto-generating it. It's not music.
Correct.
And
but what if I'm a DJ?
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm spinning two records. I'm spinning two records that are written by someone else, and I'm just scratching. And yes, I'm putting maybe this beat over this thing here. Is that creative? And it's not a cap. This is more of a question. And by the way,
I would say
in
a way it is creative.
But what I see is whenever I'm if you're talking to the point where I'm thinking where they are legitimately juggling to vinyl records and creating a beat between backspinning and fading back and forth, that's creative. Because you've taken the time to mark spots on the record and you practice to create your own beat out of samples that are on those records. That's creative.
Yeah.
1,000%.
I would agree with that, actually. Making collage art. Okay. What do you mean by collage art?
Collage art. You're still putting in the effort to make something sound good, not relying on AI to do it for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yep.
But now we can go back to
how can you even be a DJ with AI? Like, how does that even work? Like doing a live show just with AI.
Oh, you put in the prompt for the next song.
Yeah. What's it called? Sora? Bogus. No, is it Sora.com? You can go there right now, right? Sora.com.
That's so lame.
Is Sora?
You're taking other stuff and deliberately organizing it to make something new and cool.
Yeah.
Sora is the video one. is what Humphrey said. Humphrey has a big brain. If you're not following
Big
Humphrey,
brain.
Matt, you
which
you
one
ought to
is?
be following Humphrey.
I think I am. There's one that's where it's you create music. You just type in a prompt and it'll give me soft jazz. Talk about this.
Charlie did that. Charlie brought up a YouTube video on it. I think it all sounds generic and trash, but we're at the start of it, and I hate the fact that it exists. And then somebody came into chat the other day talking about, "Yo, this exists." I'm like, I know it exists, but like, it's not. It's
okay. But here's
rock.
one benefit I could go is streaming. So streaming, I want background music. I can't use anything real because I can get flagged for it or whatever it is. I can put on a playlist, which is like my music and your guys' music, which I have a playlist of. And I use that a lot.
Mhm.
But I can go to this website here, type in, okay, I want a chill feeling of this, and 10 minutes long, go. Now I have background music, royalty-free background music.
Why not?
Royalty-free background
Yeah,
music.
just type in YouTube royalty-free genre playlist.
Sometimes, because I've had those flags.
Because usually those are not really the best when it comes to background music. Some of it
and also not the
repeats
best
a lot, too.
Yeah, which is fine sometimes.
Some of it's like really
music.
generic sounding, like not I wouldn't say robotic, sound like AI generated, more like just like really bland.
Melodyne.
Not really there.
Wait, what did he say? I remember in early AI it was Melodyne.
So it's funny that we're coming back to Melodyne and AI.
Right.
I guess that's
but
you can create a DMC. I agree. Amber.
But Melodyne is not using it in a creative way. It's a tool. Melodyne is not creating the singing for me.
No.
It allows me to take my voice and pitch it and
where this other place adds vocals, lyrics, everything. Go.
Oh, Melodyne was so funny back in the day. Interesting.
Back in the day, God, I remember like 1.0.
I don't remember.
I used to work with
Melodyne?
Cakewalk way back in the day.
Yeah, Melobyte. Yeah, I was thinking Melodyne is the pitch correction program, and I was like, I was like, I don't think that's AI. But then I think about it, and like to be able to pitch your voice perfectly and move it to any note with it sounding like your real voice, yeah, there might be some AI involved in that. But again, Humphrey and I typically are on the same page of AI. Is like using it as a tool is not always the worst thing to do.
No.
And using it sparingly, kind of. But to completely let it be your creative source, no, that ain't chief.
One thing I've been working on for my stream, it's a lot of work, is a software called Touch Designer. If you ever heard of that, it's like a I got it. I learned it from.
I feel like I remember this one.
What's his name? Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse is on Twitch all the time doing some very high-end production stuff. It's great to watch him.
I used to hate
amazing stuff.
I remember Dead Mouse.
I used to hate his attitude, but now I love it because he calls dubstep noise, and I'm like, yes, about time somebody else just calls it for what it is.
I'm not in that music, but I love watching him. And he had this Touch Designer, which is it's all graphically, and you can use audio reactive stuff. And now the big thing now is you can use this and AI prompting within the software itself. So I can have music. So I have a green screen behind me and say, show me this, and this, go. And in real time, it'll start building these images behind me from AI, which is, okay, that's kind of cool. I don't have time to do all that stuff. And I'm using it as a simple thing behind me. And it takes a lot of work to get it to work. Is it still AI? Yes. But it took me a day and a half to get this stuff to work. It's not easy to get this stuff to work right now. That's a fine line too. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. And to be fair, before I accidentally, I think Dead Mouse talks about dubstep being noise. From what I remember seeing a clip where he just talks about it, and it at the time made me mad because I was like a dubstep artist at the time, and I was like, no, now I'm like, yeah, it's noise. But I think he said that.
There's something to dubstep also. It can be noise, it can be loud. There's something to that too. People want that. People like what they like.
There's a time and place for it, I guess.
Yeah,
it can fit.
People like the band Kiss still. I mean, come on.
Imagine people liking jazz.
Exactly. Who are those people?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love jazz. I love.
He's not gonna leave. There's a great video, a Saturday Night Live video, and I can't find it. It was Damon Wayans playing he was playing a horn, and they're all happy to go see him, and the whole thing starts going. It's the spit valve. I hate spit valves. It starts dripping, then it gets longer and longer, and after a point, it's just full on liquid sprayed out the hose like a hose into the audience, and they're like, "This is so awesome, isn't it?" I mean, really trying to find that. It's like, okay, I gotta show that to my kid.
Spit valve. That sounds really gross. Is that what I think it is?
It's a valve to let loose the spit.
Yeah, because you're the spit and like the fucking condensation in the horn and stuff.
Oh.
Because you're blowing.
Just give me finger dust.
Because if you just leave that in there, eventually you're trying to play, all you're gonna hear is just like and like that's all the spit, just like yeah. So he's like, you gotta let that out.
Supposedly, like the French horn, you gotta spin it a couple times to get it all out of there. That's fucking...
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that playing trombone.
Well, I was wondering about
this just to empty it out. Like I don't have to do that with trombone.
But you're still trombone. No, but what about the other instrument? What's it? The electric one you play?
Trumpet?
That's still
the Iwi.
No, the Iwi instrument. That still has bit, yeah. Because you're still blowing into it.
Not nearly as much. Because with with trombone and stuff, since I'm using my lips more, I have to blow a lot with my lips and my spitting all that stuff. But with like Iwi, I'm just using my breath. I don't really have to like literally like.
Okay, so it's light condensation, not okay.
His Iwi is just a giant vape. His Iwi is just a giant.
It's a giant vape, exactly.
Where he can
makes music. No, that sounds awesome.
But except I have to blow into this vape to make it work. Not suck.
You gotta. Yes, exactly. If you gotta, you're spitting. Exactly.
Yeah, just like Harmfist said, to play most John,
you have
gotta
to do that.
To play in it.
You have to do the moo. That's what it is.
Waiting for it.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
That's it.
I'm okay with stringed instruments.
I love stringed instruments. I started on piano and I am also now on guitar. I love it. Well, laddies, let's wrap up. Freaking Matt, you have anything you want to shout out? Share your links and stuff like that in chat.
Do I have links? The only thing I'd say is if you're in the Reno area, I'll be there next weekend playing with the band. Hopefully we'll be touring more and more.
Shout out in the chat, Matthew.
Yeah, that's the only thing I care about. So I guess that the old man Matthew.
All your links.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it very much. I think so. Yeah. Except for I'm not sure the band stuff is up there. I'll have to check that.
All of the links will be on the YouTube video.
It's all good. It's all good.
If I leave Discord now, it's gonna bring up the DMs on stream and stuff like that. I'd rather not.
Yeah, no, it's all no rush.
No one needs to see all that.
Yeah, let's see the kitty.
No one needs to see the leaks. No, I'm just kidding.
He ran away. Exactly.
Yeah, nobody needs to see the nudes we sent to each other. Come on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they do.
Before the podcast.
Oh, we did talk about it? Oh, we did. That's right. Hey, girl. How you doing?
See, he's already giving a little preview now, you know?
Don't get me started. I'll get the jorts out, man. I'll get the jorts.
Well, dude.
That became a whole thing in my stream.
Oh, what? Really?
Because I started wearing jorts, and people are like, he's wearing jorts.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that.
That's why the emote is there.
Yeah, I never
wear. When I do now, I'll wear my jorts.
I never wear shorts on stream.
When I'm standing up, when I stand up, I need sweats or I need shorts on. Sometimes wear the jorts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at my white legs. Enjoy the blindness.
This is the craziest thing people see me wear. They're like, "What? It's not just all black. There's some gray and pattern to it. What? Wow."
I usually always wear black on stream. I think this was a more chill. I want someone more relaxing than my usual black shirts.
Yeah,
it's thinning for the fat guy.
You know me, I'm always wearing like some button down type of shirt or something. Like
we gotta be comfy. We gotta be
sometimes
I gotta look good too.
Sometimes I put on the suit jacket. Sometimes I'm just like
even though we're streaming to maybe 10, 20 people, we're still broadcasting to the entire world, and you never know who's gonna click that button.
Yep. And
which is very strange.
That video on demand stays up for about 2 weeks.
Oh, the VODs do, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
1000%. That was so blockbuster of me to say that. The actual name of the VOD.
The video on demand.
That's actually
exactly.
I think it stands for that. I'm pretty sure.
Keep your sarcasm. Okay.
Brain. Well, dude, thanks for being on the podcast too. What were you gonna say?
I appreciate
just interrupted.
No, it's all good. Okay. I appreciate you guys inviting me. Hopefully, I was entertaining enough. I'm not the same level of production as you guys, but
I don't know, dude.
We'll do it again.
This is a pleasure.
Really rock solid episode.
I appreciate it.
It was.
Last night I'm going, what am I going to talk about? Am I going to go over my words? I'm going to skip over my words.
That's how it always goes, but we just end up vibing and having a good time.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. It's like it's not stressful.
There he is.
Hi, Bubbles.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Bubbles.
That's Buddy.
Buddy. There's a black cat outside. There's a stray cat outside my house. He's a black cat, and I'm trying to bring him in to me, and He's getting closer a little bit, but I don't see him too often. But his name's Bubbles for now.
Bubbles.
Just like it.
I turned him into his name's Puppy now because he's like a dog. He plays catch. He barks all the time. He meow 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 meow.
Yeah.
He's like a cat. He's like a dog to me. So he's Puppy. Puppy.
Cats barking is they're hilarious.
Surprised he's not whining right now.
Yeah.
Meow meow. It's not dinner time yet. But again, I appreciate you guys inviting me on. This is very cool. This is a first to me. We didn't even get talking. I was going to talk more band stuff, but maybe next time.
Yeah, well, I'd
definitely.
like there to be a next time. But it sounded like you were down with it. So
Of course, this is great. I know we need more content next time, but we'll go with that.
the more. What do you mean more content?
As in, because we've already gone over all this stuff. So
Oh
new
yeah,
stuff.
1,000%.
It's funny. I think we went over. I was looking at my list here. I think we went over everything in my list. The only thing I got is the band stuff. I'm trying to write new music on my own, not for the band, for myself. Get my kid into doing some of this stuff too. I want him to come in and see what this is like, recording and stuff like that. Get him into that too.
In the podcast one of these days.
Maybe I gotta wait to the drama that happened this week on that bullshit. A couple more months till he's 13, then I can do what I want.
Yeah.
I said on stream yesterday. I went through so much bullshit yesterday, or 2 days ago on stream. Have a kid, but have a kid with somebody you want to be with.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to be with that person, then you have a kid, then you're away from that person. That person causes nothing but trouble, and the kid is in the middle.
Well, for me, it's gonna be a long time in a relationship before I decide to
Agreed.
get to that point.
If only I could say, just have a kid. I had my kid at 45, and that is not a good year to have a kid because now I'm too old to do stuff that I should have been if I was 25, 35. Have more, just younger, more energy to do stuff that you want to do with a kid.
It's just about finding a woman for me. That's it. Like someone who I genuinely have a good connection.
Agreed.
With her,
Same,
but it's
Mine was hot. That was the problem. She was just hot.
yeah.
Hot little Asian.
That can
Can't
be
get
tough.
away from
that
it.
can be tough.
Yellow fever. I got yellow fever. I will fully admit to the yellow fever.
That's all good, dude. It's all good.
No shame.
No shade.
I like
No.
Italians.
He's a good
as far
kid.
as I'm aware.
Italians are.
All right. Well, yeah, I
dated
know that.
one Italian. I've dated one Italian. That was crazy. The Mexican girl was a
Crazy?
little more crazy. The Mexican girl was crazier. Yeah.
I've dated a Dominican, so I can.
Never had no. This was and the redhead. The redhead was the craziest, but that's.
Good deal, dude.
Redheads are fun.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm looking at my list. We talked about everything on my list. That's crazy.
Well, good. Let's make you another list. We'll talk about some more.
Oh,
Sounds
definitely.
good.
Prominent. Feel free to share who you are one more time. I'll shout you out where you're going.
All right, so like I said in the beginning, I am the Prominent BEG. I host my own show, The Jazz Lounge Journey, on twitch.tv/prominentbeg. If you want to follow me on my socials, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as the Prominent BEG, of course. And it's always a pleasure being here on the Antiperfectionist Podcast with the lovely eyes and our special guest, OldManMatthew. We do this once every last Sunday of the month right now. And it's always a pleasure.
One thing that's kind of funny is I go by the OldManMatthew, and what do you guys call me?
Matthew.
Matt. Most people call me Matt. It's very weird.
Because
Matt.
I typically avoid calling people old. I was trying to think of a good intro. I was trying to think of while the stream was booting, like the intro music. I was trying to think of how do I say he's been around the block a few times without saying we have someone of a couple generations in chat.
Aged.
How do I?
It's true.
It's like, nah, like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
This old mother.
I'm
I'm just playing.
I got no problem with my age right now.
No, I figured you
problem.
didn't. I figued you didn't. But sometimes people say the joke, but it doesn't really give the passerby the permission to use the joke.
It's actually getting dark in here. The sun was going down, so you can't see the light.
It's been down for hours, fool. What are you on about?
Well, you're way over there, dude.
Same here.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock here, man. The sun is almost setting.
Toxic's so good to see.
No, I was making more the fun of it's Matthew, not Matt. Most people call me when they'll see Matthew, they'll say Matt.
Well, people call me
okay.
They just freaking
Well, how do you? I know
literally
your
the
name. How do you
hardest.
shorten your name?
You actually know my name?
Yeah, we talked about it before. Yes, I
Yeah.
guessed it.
Oh yeah, you
Yes.
did. You guessed it on stream.
Yeah.
How do I
It's
shorten?
actually kind
Keep
of
forgetting.
now.
how
Now
do
that
I
I think
shorten
about
my
it, it's
name?
actually pretty simple.
How do I shorten
Yeah,
my
like
eyes?
Matthew.
Eyes?
Yeah. So yeah, is that what you go by in out in the public? Hey, I'm Eyes.
At my last job, yeah, I would try
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And some it doesn't always catch, but it's not like I'm trying to force it either. Like
No,
I
and
remember,
that's I don't.
Same,
As long as people call me, I don't really care. Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, you can just call me Eyes. That's it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's nice.
It's all good.
Nickname.
Sometimes it's nice to have that, like, the personal life and the professional name separate. There's something about
Agree.
like feeling a professional persona versus a personal persona. Why I don't always wear
Yeah.
my Eyes hat. Sometimes I'm not feeling like businessy, so I don't always wear it in my out life.
I think I'll go with I was the same person in my job as I am sitting in front of you now. I was the same person. So I was never someone different at the office. I couldn't do that. I know a lot of people that were completely different at the office.
That's
you
kind of
know,
how it is for me too. I am what I am. And I've
I am who I am,
I've told that to some people who met me in real life through Twitch. You know, Bree, Fat Loud, and Bordy. I've met all three of them in real life, and
cool.
same
Cool.
person in real life. You know,
Same person. Yeah, we are the same person. Well, after this many hours of streaming, we have to become ourselves. So you can't be someone else
yeah.
all for this long, unless you're Code Nico, who still has her own channel and becomes herself.
I think
Like
I
when
was-
there's Code Nico.
I was for the most part always myself on stream as far as like I'm aware, but I would try to accentuate things on purpose instead of
Yes,
just
exactly.
relax, just chill out. You know, like that type of you know, saying that-
All right, I keep talking.
Oh,
I
you're
keep
good.
keeping this thing going.
Well, my name is Eyes. Nice to have everybody here.
Eyes.
Thank you for being here. My socials are here. I'm on Spotify there, and YouTube, X, Twitter, Twix, Instagram. You know,
Twix.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
Nice
we're
to
all
see you
over
guys.
Twix. Twix, like the chocolate bar.
1,000%. It's super good to have everybody here. Thank you guys for hanging out in the podcast.
Now I'm hungry. What do you guys want from me? Now I gotta get some dinner for me and the kid.
Get some.
I gotta give me a Twix.
It might be pizza delivered, but might get too late for that. We'll see.
Yeah. We're gonna raid on over to Avery. Is a good friend of the channel, so I appreciate you guys sticking through with the raid, and thanks for being here. I'll be back Thursday at 2:00 East. No, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think my work schedule switched this week, but I am off Thursday. I should be able to stream Thursday at 2:00 Eastern time, so I'll be there. I might have to take a day off here on next Saturday, but ain't nothing but a thing. I'll be around.
And nothing but thing. Enjoy that, man. Enjoy.
No, absolutely. First weekend I've had off in a long time. So, all right, everybody.
Do something fun. All right, appreciate you.
I think I'm gonna go to the beach. But yeah, all love, dog.
Nice.
Good to see you,
Nice.
and thanks for being part of the
IRL
episode.
that sucker. We want to see them white legs. Come on, IRL that sucker.
My legs are pretty tan, actually.
Oh, damn it.
Whatever.
Yeah, my
That's right.
parents
Florida boy. All right.
my parents just saw, and they were like, "You are freaking tan, dude." I'm like,
Toxic.
Must be nice.
all right. Well, I'm gonna raid over to Avery, and
All right.
then I'll hang out in Discord so we can just do the post show just for a little bit, wrap things up, and then we'll go.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody. God bless. Thank you guys for being here. Take care, and I'll see you guys sometime soon in the week. Prominent
Love
might be
yourself
going
and those
live
around
too.
you.
Indeed, very
Love
much
yourself
so.
and those
I'm
around you.
probably
And
not
find your
going
joy.
to. I'm too tired.
Toodles, everybody. Thank
That's
you.
fine. All right. Thanks.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Antiperfectionist Podcast. I hope that you enjoyed the show, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below, hit like, and subscribe. The links for the hosts and the guest are in the description below. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one.